more than words can say. Just one touch, and I know I'm gonna stay for always.
So how are you on the
You froze.
Thursday? I'm forgetting what day it is since, we're home. Like everybody's home every day. So I don't even know what day it is anymore.
It's Thursday. It is Thursday. Yes, it is. Everything's going great in Manchester. There are nobody at the hospitals in Manchester. Projected to be that outrageous amount of people dying. People are getting the coronavirus. Nobody got shit. People are running around in the evenings. Teenagers are getting high in the evenings. Cops are having to fucking run down teenagers at night. Myself, I'm lucky I'm walking a dog. So I walk a dog so the cops don't stop me. I smoke a joint every evening, walking around just in the streets, nobody out, fucking just walking a dog at midnight. None of them fucking smoking weed. There's the hospitals you go by, supposed to be packed, fucking full, pulling them in the front and throwing the bodies out the back. Ain't nobody in there. There's nobody in the parking lot. There ain't nobody nowhere. This is the biggest bullshit thing I've ever seen. I love this comic book. I say this with love because I'm enjoying it. Dude, I fucking love this, man. I can't get enough of this. I don't care how many people out there bitching and whining about. They're supposed to, and we are supposed to. So I'm not complaining about that. Have fun doing it. It's fucking fun doing that too. But nobody fucking died. But I'm picking up some hobbies. I'm trying to learn how to relax because I'm stressed out of the virus is stressing me out. So I'm learning to relax. And I'm learning how to care for pussy. So I've got this book, 101 Ways to Care for Pussy. It's got lots of things about cats. I'm gonna start spade neutering my own cats. I think I'm ready for that. I'm gonna make that jump. I'm gonna make that leap. Since you can't have it done in hospitals, my advice for you people that need medication that you actually have to have it because there's nothing going on in the hospitals, you can go to the vet. They'll give you all kinds of meds. They'll give you whatever you need. But I've been warning people about this for a long time.
Yeah.
You can massage cat massages. You can do this cat massages. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That's how you care for pussy. You got to learn how to massage it.
Really? There's actually a book on how to massage your cat?
Yes. I'm working on cat massages. There's cat brushing. There's some cat brushing techniques. So
this is the kind of stuff you could do at home when you got nothing else to do.
For those of you guys that are at home with the coronavirus, you guys can stroke your own pussies if you have the right equipment. Be gentle though, because they'll get fucking mad, man. They get mad fast. Make sure you get the right equipment for this. I'm projecting like you are going to be a lot of babies being born in 9 months, because that's how long it takes to conceive a baby. 9 months, not 10 months. 9 months. I was here, and a lady had complications because she was scheduled to have a baby in 10 months. I said, it's fucking 9 months. The baby was so big, they had to give her a fucking cut, C-section, to get the baby out. I said, because it's 9 months instead of 10 months. You stupid people. It's not 10 months, but I guess we're 10 months now. It's a Mandela effect, Eric. You don't know that, though. It's 9 months to have a baby, not 10 months. But in this timeline, it's 10 months. But you can do lots of things with kitties. A lot of things with kitties. I've been playing choo-choo train with them. I'm thinking about doing skydiver. I'm going to get like a little parachute. I'm going to drop them off the roof and let the parachute open up. It's going to be kind of a lot of fun. A lot of fun around England right now. I've got one here been working on. This is a beautiful one. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. Look how I stroke her. This is how they like to be stroked. You see, those of you with the virus, if you're bored, get a cat. Get kitty cats. Look at you. Look at you. The smoke is in your face. I'm sorry. I'll move you back here. What do you think, Eric? You think I make a good cat owner?
If the cat didn't try to scratch you or try to run away, so you must have done something right.
I stroked it correctly. That's how you do it. You don't want to make them mad. I stroke them correctly. It depends on which ones you have.
Well, I invited a guest to come on.
Yeah.
His name is Charles White, and he's not here at the moment. I know he told me yesterday that he was getting off work early to jump on, so I haven't got an email from him this morning, so I don't know if he got maybe stuck at work. Sometimes that happens. I don't know what he does. But I told him that when he comes, he can just jump on. He's a guy from Missouri that has a lot of knowledge of like aliens, abductions, UFOs in the state of Missouri. So I thought he'd be a nice person to jump on. So he's not here right now. Hopefully he shows up, but if he doesn't, he doesn't. Today we're talking about alien abduction.
Aliens.
Who doesn't like to be abducted by aliens?
Who doesn't like to be abducted by aliens?
Or not just be abducted by aliens. Us people, we abduct aliens ourselves. Our government,
we do. We're building a border wall.
So it's not like they're the only one who does. So now, since our guest is not here, Bob's going to tell us his experience about an alien abduction. But if somebody else in the chat that has an experience, since our guest is not here, if you want to come on too to tell us about your alien abduction experience, I just put the StreamYard in the chat. It's open for anybody to talk about, even if you don't know if it's an alien abduction or not, because we really physically 100% don't know. We could assume, but you know what I mean. It's at the end of the day, it's up to us. So Bob, you want to kick off about you said you had an alien abduction, a story like you felt that you were once abducted.
Well, number one, yeah.
Oh, first of all, before you get to your story, were you anal probe in your abduction?
I believe so.
You believe you're anal probe? Okay,
yes,
that's important. That's important. Now go on.
I believe I was anal probed. Yes, I believe I was anal probed. I'm not sure how many times it happened in one night. I did notice that the aliens do smoke cigarettes, because one of them that was anal probing was smoking while I was being anal probed. They had an ashtray on my back, so it was giving me the probe. It was really bad. But other than that, everything else went okay. They take bits and pieces of your flesh and they do analysis, whatever. But let me add. I'm gonna do a combination. You and I like do weird things, so I'm gonna combine the Corona Nacho. What's up, buddy?
Yo.
I
just want to stop by to fucking pick on you guys a little bit.
Yeah, he had an alien abduction story, I believe, too. So after Bob, your story, we'll hear his.
Well, let me tell you a little theory out there. Okay,
here's Grandpa. Here's our guest. Let me jump him on.
Alien stories.
Oh, okay, well, I'll get out of here.
Oh, actually,
I just wanted to say.
He's always there to jump on.
For some reason, I can't get him on. He's in gray, and I'm clicking it. Your guests will need to connect their mic before you can add them to the stream.
Have them connect.
Charles, it says here you have to connect your mic cam before I can add you to the stream. So you got to add that on. So he'll work on that, and then
yeah. Well, I was talking about the virus, the no bullshit virus. One of the conspiracies out there, and I'm just throwing this out there, and you guys can, especially Mike. Mike can take it and debunk it, which is what he does, which he's supposed to do. That's why I like Mike so much. He debunks. One of the theories going around out there is that they did make this virus. The government made this virus not to kill humans, but because we're getting an invasion. Now, again, throw it away. An invasion from the grays, from the interdimensionals, the aliens, we want to call them, because they're not resistant to human viruses. Because they're not resistant to the viruses, the government figured the best way to keep them out of here, again, a conspiracy that's not mine. I'm putting it out there. that they put out a widespread, crazy ass back of the turtle filled fucking virus pool out there, keeping it out there, and then trying to treat humans the best they can, whatever fake, but to keep the aliens away, the extraterrestrials, because they'll get sick. They'll get sick. I mean, they don't have the immunities that we had growing up on this back of the turtle. Mike has the immunities.
Well,
I have the immunities. Go ahead.
No, but don't we have like hazmat suits like ourselves? Like, don't we have the technology already where we can protect ourselves from the viruses? So
Yes.
if the aliens, quote unquote, are jumping interdimensionally, or they're coming from millions of light years away or whatever, and they're flying around in around the like free energy technology, don't you think they would have some kind of like suits where they can be protected from the viruses? I would imagine.
Yeah, no, good question. You would think, but now are they able to stand up against a virus? I mean,
I don't know.
As silly as it may sound, we're not talking about a human or somebody or an elephant or we're talking about something that's microscopic that even we have doubt that exists, right? Even we doubt it exists. We can't see it that small. So these aliens, I'm sure they have the technique. I'm actually playing pro and you're playing against. Your job is to debunk it. So I'm saying that they can take a look into the microscope, and if they could see it, but they still can't. So they put on their little silver outfits. They would have to have radiation kills the virus. So number one, their ship radius would kill it. Okay, so they're safe there. If they stayed within the perimeter of their ship, correct, it would kill the virus. But however, if they were to go at a distance away from the ship where they're out of reach of that radiation, then they might become susceptible. But then again, you say, which is correct, their uniforms might radiate a radiation like a mosquito repellent that would kill the virus. That would be true too. But who would put it past a bunch of dumb humans to think that maybe the best way to stop an alien invasion is to put out a worldwide pandemic with an actual virus? I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, I see the logic there. So you have this alien invasion, and they're coming across either interdimensionally or millions of light years away. It doesn't matter. They have higher technology. And then, we have to assume that they must have suits that can, operate outside of like zero gravity, right?
Yeah.
Which is already like, kind of virus. And then, are we to assume that protect themselves from our, virus attack? Like, what is more likely? What is more plausible? Like, protect themselves or the fact that this is they're telling people,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I tend to believe it's a bullshit lie. I'm on your side. However, I'm trying to take it into we call a debatable different angle, because everybody else is Brian Stevens kicking ass on that fucking debating part. I mean, we all know it's bullshit. I mean, there's nobody in the hospital that's saying it myself. It's right up the road. Hospital's like walking distance.
It's all real. It's all real.
So I'm thinking, okay, well, what is the other reason? Eric came up with the idea is that they're having
coronavirus right here.
Eric's idea was to have a baby increase in 9 months. I'm like, that's good. Also, I'm like, maybe we have because we do have a satellite, not a satellite, but we have a meteor that's on its way right now, and it's big. It's bigger than
or meteor.
Jupiter. It's bigger than Jupiter. It's a meteor.
What?
Bigger than
Holy
Jupiter.
Shit.
Yeah. Look it up yourself.
Shit.
Eric, look it up. Eric, type it in. Type it in if you want to.
Jupiter?
Okay.
There's a
Oh my god!
Now, what is this meteor? What is this meteor called? Is there a name of this meteor, or?
I don't remember the name. I just saw it yesterday. I was doing my research for the show here. I'm just trying to come up with some ideas.
Yeah, but Robert, well, in this globe Earth cosmology, Earth cosmology, and then in that world, Jupiter is a very large planet. It's a gaseous planet. It's got to be like hundreds of times bigger than Earth. And if you have a meteor that's bigger than that, like
Yes.
Earth will be like sucked up by its gravity as it's flying by because it's like, hundreds of times bigger than Earth. And it's massive. Like it has mass. It's
so
not even gas.
You're seeing the same stupid fucking thing I am. I'm just telling you what I read. I'm going to give you the name of it. Here we go. You're correct, by the way. It's C.
Hey, is that April 1st over there? It's not April 1st over there, is it?
April 2nd.
April 2nd.
Okay. I wasn't sure if Robert was doing an April Fool's joke or not. So I just wanted to make sure we got that out of the way.
All right. How do you spell this?
Okay, it's called the Atlas Comet. It's a C 2019 94.
C 2019 94?
Yeah, the Atlas satellite.
Okay. So
Y4, my bad. So it's C 2019 Y4. It's a meteor. It's called an Atlas Comet.
C2019 Y4. Okay.
I'm gonna say real slow for you guys.
So that's 3, 5, 6, 6, and then Y is what? XWXYZ. Y is what? 23.
Oh yeah. You're doing math on it. Very good. I'm gonna read it off to you. You just do the math on it. Here we go.
5, 9. Yeah.
2019 Y4.
Right. So Y is the 23rd letter, is it not?
I think it's the 25th.
25th? WXY. Yeah, 25th. Yeah.
Okay, good.
No. You're right. I'm an idiot.
So 25.
Where is Comet C219 Y4 Atlas?
There we go. Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
You found it there? There it is.
I mean, it's a
6. 2.
There she is.
I don't know, man. I don't see anything in the coding here. I just get like 11, 6. Well, let's see. That's 15. No, there's still like 8 is what I came up with.
It was 25.
When you add everything up.
25 plus the last two will be Y, so it'll be 25 plus 4, which is 11.
Yeah, it
says
11.
Here is Simplify Sky Chart showing where a comet is right now in the sky with respect to the brightest stars and constellations.
And it's on its
Like
way.
how close is it?
Wait.
How close is it away? How far is it? I mean,
On April, available online to the naked. Where? Okay, I'm gonna look up to see if I can find an article on how close it is. So
Yeah.
let me do some research while you guys talk real quick. Oh, let me get that off. Now I'll look up, see when is it coming.
Closest to the sun on May 31st, 2020. NASA.
so what is the scheme here? I mean, this isn't real. We know that. We live on a flat Earth.
Yeah.
And what's coming? Like, what is their game plan? What do you think? What their game plan is?
Well, okay, so you had a big laugh as you laughed in fact you laughed shorter than I laughed a long time when I found out it's as big as it's that big. It's why it's called an Atlas comet. I've never heard of an Atlas comet or meteor. Atlas comet. I've never heard of it before in my life. I never called anything called Atlas. It's from a god, so I'm trying to break down the codes. There was a god Atlas, and god Atlas held up the earth. That's what god Atlas does. He holds up the earth. So
Right.
this thing is the size of that, and whatever. So it's on its way to Earth. It's supposed to pass by the planet. Now, as you say, something of that size would do rip off. It would rip off the atmosphere. It would rip off the atmosphere. The
rip off, like face off. Face off the atmosphere.
It is the brightest comet in the past several years. I see that.
Okay, let's break this baby down code wise. Now, again, guys, I'm new to this. I just got it I just wrote down some stuff for the show to kind of go along with our UFOs and abductions and the virus. So
the system survey in Hawaii. So it was discovered in Hawaii.
Yeah, discovered in Hawaii. Very good. Let's see. Appeared closest to.
You see the comet Atlas in the upper left corner having a bright green glow. So apparently it has a green color.
Green glow.
There's the green.
So why would it have a green glow? Now, I took astronomy. The green gas, what reflects green for green gas? Okay, so it's ice, we know from the comet. It's frozen ice and it's on fire. Obviously, it's melting. It's what leaves theoretically, people go along with our program. We all know it's bullshit. So it's melting in the atmosphere, a long string.
You need oxygen to make fire if you're in a backfire in a vacuum?
No. Again, you're correct. We're using dumb conversation. So we're doing that.
Well, Bob, it says currently the C219 White comet is at 8 magnitude brightness. This means that the comet is not yet visible to the naked eye.
Okay. And does it say when it's going to hit or come by us? It's supposed to. I'm
still scrolling down.
I got May closest to the sun. Our sun. Okay, the fucking McDonald's fucking heater gets closest to the McDonald's heater on May 31st, 31st.
Look at that picture. That's even brighter.
May 31st.
Wow.
Okay, anyway, 22nd.
Wow, look at that.
20. There it is. Now, is this real or is this some kind of NASA drawing, or is it a laser pen? We always have to ask those questions. What the fuck are we looking at? Everything's fake here, but it's green. I've never ever heard of a green.
It looks like a Borg.
Comet.
It's a Borg cube. It's a giant Borg cube coming to assimilate us.
Oh yeah.
Could be.
It's a lost piece from Star Trek TV series.
Okay. There we go. Anything else?
Resistance is futile, man. Futile.
Here we go. Get some more information. So I got a little phone here I'm playing with. I'm gonna read it out to you guys. The comet was discovered on December 2008 or December 28, 2019 in the area of the Ursa, URSA Major, Ursa Major, never heard of it area. Hold on, the comet was discovered on December 28, 2019 in the area of Ursa Major, never heard of it. It's currently in Mars orbit. Mars' orbit, but it is on its way towards the sun and getting brighter. It was spotted by the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, Atlas. Oh, okay. So Atlas is the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System. Last Alert System. I've never heard of this fucking thing before, guys. Atlas. I've never heard of it. Mm-hmm. Let's see. If it doesn't break up, it will reach its closest point to the sun by the end of May. So May it is right now.
Hey, Bob, this last part of the sentence I read.
2 more months.
Listen to this. It says, we will keep you updated on the important further development. While you wait for more updates, don't miss our article on global CO2 levels, which have temporarily stopped rising, likely due to the industry slowdown as the world the world battles the new coronavirus.
Oh, there's the connection. There's the connection. It gives you the connection. Man. Okay, we knew there was a connection somewhere, guys. It's got to be a connection. So we like to take the coronavirus on a different direction on our show. Atlas, a massive comet 5 times the size of Jupiter and about half the size of the sun, will appear brighter than Venus from Earth by the end of April.
Wow.
So it's going to be in our sky, and allegedly it's going to be bright green and in the sky.
Yeah,
that's what we're going to. This is what they're saying. We're going to see. And again, Eric, you said it. What's to do with the corona? What's the association?
Something about the CO2 levels, which have temporarily slowed down, rising, likely due to the industry slowdown as the world battles new coronavirus.
Okay.
Basically,
Okay.
saying major companies are all slowing down. They're not putting that much chemicals in the sky, so our climate is actually getting better thanks to the coronavirus.
So thanks to the coronavirus,
So thanks to the
everybody's on
coronavirus,
lockdown.
the ocean's getting blue, lakes are getting better, cleaner.
I've seen
Yeah, feel good
reports.
about your death. You're doing good for the environment, guys. You know, everybody all dying and not creating pollution and CO2. You guys are doing a great job. You know, pat yourselves in the back.
I mean, this is what the media is putting out there. So right now, what it's saying is Mike's correct. Mike is correct. Exactly what Mike says. Pat yourselves on the back because of the coronavirus and the lockdown. Our climate is now changing for the better. So it is a better thing to have this corona and lockdown is to have a better Earth. Back of the turtle, flat surface, fixed plane, whatever you guys want to call it. I don't care. A cube. But the back of this cube is getting better with the coronavirus. And now we're going to see a green light in the sky by the end of this month.
Well, if you talk about invasions, right? They always say an alien invasion, how do you start an invasion first? First, you start an invasion where you have the people in their own country start fighting with each other.
Correct.
Which now, they're causing coronavirus. So everybody's getting their boiling point where, enough is going to be enough. You start crashing the economy. I mean, look at the movie. I know it's a movie. Look at Independence Day.
Yes.
What do? It's like a chess game. You put your chess, you put your game plan in spots, and you start to weaken the countries by have them fighting with themselves, so they're not on the same page. Then you do a fake virus that was created by man. So the virus ain't fake; it was created by man.
Created by man.
And then what the heck? And at the end, once we kill each other, once we bomb each other, because we got Trump as president, so he's trigger happy. He wants to go to war. And once we start going to war, once we start beating up each other, then you start the real invasion.
You start, actually, it looks like a comic. This reminds me of a comic book, guys.
And maybe the comment is just a preview of what's coming.
It's a text comic. Now, I think I got abducted, and I keep making that joke. Again, I have that white spot. I can't explain it. It is removed flesh. So,
was that your first time you felt? I remember you felt you were abducted as a kid.
Yeah, but I debunk. So I've immediately debunked it as sleep paralysis. I've debunked shit. So I didn't believe in anything. I thought
what if it really wasn't, and it was just taking you little by little, and then now you're getting older. Now you're getting more wise. What's going on in the world, and they want more out of you, more DNA or something.
Well, what if the abductions are increasing?
Did you say your blood? Did you say your blood changed to RH?
No. My blood, yours did. Yours, we had different memories. Yours was an RH negative O. Mine was an RH negative O. You are now an RH positive O. Mine stayed the same as an O. Our mom left a different maiden name on your birth certificate than my birth certificate. So we're brothers with a perfect relationship going on. You've always remembered positive blood your entire life. I've always remembered you with negative blood my entire life. So we have a different memory of the blood types. As people, we're brothers and we both have the effect, but we have different memories. That means you guys could be the same with your children, with your families.
Could you guys be half brothers? Could you guys be half brothers?
We're full.
Is it full on brothers?
Unless mom messed around.
No, we're full on brothers. I did do the ancestry, guys. I did do it, and our DNA numbers are equal to brothers, full brothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who knows in this timeline? Because my son was B negative because I had married. His mother was an RH negative. She was an AB negative. My son was born with B negative blood. I made sure I checked it. In this timeline, my brother is in the United States military, and he goes, "Dad, what are you talking about? My blood is B positive." I said, "No, it's not, dude. I was there at your birth. I was there at your. I changed your fucking diapers. I took you to the doctors. I knew your blood type. I'm your father. He says, Dad, no, my blood is positive. I said, it's negative, dude. He looked at his dime tags.
Do you think there's a relation? Do you think there's a relation to maybe a blood kind of changing and being abducted? Aliens, I guess, being I'm guessing.
Maybe.
What if an alien comes? Let's just say aliens do come. Say aliens do come, and it is all real. There's no faults. Let's just say it is real. People do get abducted. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How?
Of course.
Then how would they choose who they pick to abduct? Is it certain blood types? Is it their knowledge of what they know? What? Why would they choose Mike? Like maybe why would they choose Mike over me? In a way, I'm guessing what I'm saying.
Good question.
Mike is more handsome and more smarter than I am, so I can see that part. But
it
Please,
depends.
Eric.
I know studies people with you don't have to have it's negative blood. You could have a relative, or you could have a mother or a father. You could be a carrier of the allele of the gene, and also be an abductee. You can also be an abductee by being in the family because they abduct entire families, like the family.
Yeah, it's generational. It's generational.
Yeah. So Mike himself could have. I'm not, because you're a foster. You have a stepfather. I'm not sure if you were just there at the time your father was being abducted, or you might have ancestry that you don't know about as an individual, and you were specifically being targeted. With outside your family. That's why you had to leave your family. You're like, I can't stay here. I get the fuck out of here. I'm the only one being abducted.
Well, we don't know the circumstances exactly, but I think from what I have heard about it, like blood type is also a factor. Like I've heard a lot of Cherokees, like Native Americans, and the Celtic blood, people of Celtic lineage.
And Bob, we got Cherokee.
So in my research, from what I have read, and it's generation, and it could skip one generation. Like your mother was not abducted, but one of your grandparents might have been abducted. So it could skip, like being bald. Those are all there.
Yeah.
But there are other factors, I mean, obviously the blood and the race is different, but they do have some commonalities, like in terms of they seem to have psychic abilities, this kind of paranormal abilities. That's kind of, some people are just kind of born with it. It's just like paranormal shit happens around you, where and then I think it's like kind of, you can't separate this whole alien type thing. It's very much part of spirituality as well, dealing with interdimensional stuff, dealing with something that is not just physical, because physical reality is a very small layer of reality. It's just a layer that we can perceive based on the instruments in which we're given. But obviously we know there is ultraviolet and infrared, and then ultrasound and all this kind of stuff. So other dimensions that is beyond our perception do exist.
I know it.
Go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
No. One person wrote they can see how you interact with your DNA, and if you can embody faster than light of this reality, they can take you out of the system and do weird stuff.
Ooh, are we talking about aliens? Weird stuff. What's kind of weird stuff?
Yeah.
Well, Bob, you said you got anal.
It sounds kinky to me. That sounds all kinky to me. I mean, they can just take you out and do whatever. They can do whatever to you.
Or I know this is a TV show from the 80s. I know, but remember, moved the TV show American Greatest Hero.
Yes.
Where an alien actually came down to give the first superhero movies ever on TV. Give him a suit so he can help mankind to be better, and maybe they'll come down. Is that a possibility to wake up more people? So, because listen, if aliens came down, our government's going to hurt them, kill them. We're not a friendly people on this earth.
No, we're not
friendly at all, and they know this. If they got technology to come here, they know this. So maybe they're here to help us waking up, because a lot of people are Mandela affected. Not everybody, but a lot of people Mandela affected have said they have near deaths. They have seen lights in the sky. They see more. They see colors. They see things that an average person doesn't see. So maybe it's all part of being abduction? I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to.
I think
With you,
I
go ahead.
I just want to interject real quick. Like, it's possible that they are not worried about themselves or being defending themselves from like our guns and bullets and like whatever kinetic technology. They're probably more worried that we would go so like panicky that we would hurt our, and they could also be using that as the reason distance.
Yeah.
True.
What is this one? Humans are rented on Earth. Aliens oversees our evolution.
Oh, like sea monkeys. So we're like sea monkeys. They're watching us like in a big sea monkey tube, big bulb within
I've heard
dimension.
that theory before that they're the ones who actually planted life on a planet, and they want to see how it evolves, see how it grows. I mean, I've heard that before.
Like the
It used to
engineer,
be like that.
alien,
Engineers, yeah.
Prometheus.
Yeah, Prometheus, yes. I was like that. The only thing different is I'm the same way. Only thing different is now I know there's a God. I know there's a God now. And so now that I know there's a God,
Right.
I know that God has a way of doing his own will or her own will, or it's a lampshade's own will. So I always thought of these grays over time because I think I got my shit picked up and played with. I don't want to think of the bad things. I want to think of it as positive. I don't want to think of the bad things.
Yeah.
So I think the grays are like bees, and we're like because I keep seeing bees everywhere. That's one of my people see numbers. I see numbers. Mikey see numbers. I see bees also. Like bees will show up in things. Our painted bee, or somebody's wearing an outfit that has bees on it. I keep seeing the fucking bee, and so my mind keeps saying maybe the alien, the extraterrestrials, the interdimensionals are like bees, and we're like the pollen. We're
Right.
but our pollen is the DNA. They're taking their DNA and manipulating it and then
We're
putting
harvested.
it back.
Okay.
They're harvested.
Well, Bob, let's break this down. The day you felt something happen on your arm with the white dot.
Yes.
During that week, before that incident, was there something strange that week? Did you feel something before you felt that? What? Tell us. Yes. Let's break this down. Let's break this down. Let's try to.
Yeah. I got some flatmates, and okay, so I'm going back to fucking full anthropology. I went to college. Mike's went to college. I went back to anthropology, so I'm documenting my shit. I'm trying to figure some shit out. It always starts. First, it started with my elbow. It was a light baby ache in the elbow, and so I wrote down my injuries. I was writing my injuries, and as the week progressed, it got worse. Then the arm got worse. And then finally, by the end of the week, the mark showed up. And I've had this before with other wounds where it literally felt like it was in reverse. Where if you get a shot today, it's going to hurt a lot for the week and then get less as the end of the week goes. Pain is heavy, less. And in this case, the pain is less and then gets heavier and heavier. Then the mark shows up, like the opposite. So I'm getting a hint of it first. Then I get the bulk of the pain later on in the week, like it just happened. Am I sensing it going to happen at the end of the week? Or is it somehow reversed, like in time? Somehow in time it's reversed. I know it sounds weird, but I'll have a pain on my leg, and it hurts. And there's no marks, no nothing. It is completely 100% fine, but it feels like somebody stuck a fucking nail and stuck it into my skin, and I can't. There's nothing there. But by the end of the week, it hurts more. Then by the end of the week, I wake up and say, "Pala, there it is. There's the mark. It just now appeared, and now it hurts really bad." It started with no pain, and then it got worse, and then the mark showed up. It's reversed. So I know something's coming because there's going to be a light pain there, and now I'm monitoring it, waiting for it to manifest, and then it manifests itself at the end of the week or several days later. So this came later, and then when it came, and I told you, Eric, I can't tell you this, man, it fucking hurts like hell. Then you go, wait a minute, you have a torn muscle here.
I have a torn pec muscle.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
It came from here. It went to here, and then it moved over to here, and then it was excruciating pain right here, man. I couldn't pick up a cup. It was hard to pick up a cup. I was like, what is that? And then
it's like but you guys are close. I mean, you guys are like obviously close brothers. You guys have you guys grew up together, and you're an older brother, younger brother, and you guys have always I think for sure Eric looks up to you. Definitely that's for sure. And then you take care of him, and you're like a kind of an older brother. So you guys have this kind of connection. And people who have that kind of connection, they're gonna be psychically connected to each other, no matter the distance, right? So if you have something going on with you, and he's gonna definitely feel it.
Yeah,
I think
he got the tail end of it. Yeah, that's mine so far too.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up. So Bob gets fucked up and fucked me up. He gets a little rod, I get a tear muscle. What? How fair is that?
Unless you got abducted.
Well, in some ways, Eric, you choose it. In some ways that you decide to be a part of it. So there you go. What are you gonna do?
Unless like I said, he was there, and we were both there at the same time. And Eric got a nice nap. Maybe they were just letting him sleep, giving him a look over. And over here, they got a fucking mad doctor like grabbing shit, stuff. Wow, it is playing with my taking body part and removing skin. Eric's just sleeping.
Well, I did get anal probed by a doctor. Maybe he's an alien.
Yeah, after we're all done, Eric feels it from within the space that we were in. I was getting beat up. He was probably having some dancing angel with beautiful experience. He was having a beautiful abduction.
Yeah. Just let everybody know, Charles, I guess his equipment is junk. He can't jump on. So just let everybody know. But we got Mike. He's better. Mike's awesome.
No, I'm not better. No, don't say that. I mean. It's just unfortunate that situation happened. But I'm happy to be here, obviously, because I need to shoot the shit with you guys, and
hey, and
make fun of both of you.
Equally. Shout out. This morning, Mike Vonage and Patrick Robert from the Timeline and Callie from her channel, Sid the Rejects, did a show this morning, which was fun. It was awesome. They talked about nipples, nipple rings, farming the land.
It
was fun stuff. So guys, jump on our channel later, watch it earlier. It was very fun. It wasn't just about a Mandela effect. It was down to earth, good fun comedy. So just a little shout out. You know what I mean? I love a shout out. So Bob, but now that experience you just had with that dot, the first time you said you felt you were abducted even earlier in life, was there something similar than that? Is there like a connection that we could connect it with?
2016 is when I would take a stab at it. That's around when I woke up, around 2016, around June-ish. When I was going through those weird fucking days, it was like everything was there was no contrails. The sun was, for me, it was still yellow. Everything was normal, as normal can be at the workplace. The swastika looked normal. There was the universe looked like its old potato fucking pancake fucking Carl Sagan version back from Sagittarius Arm. Everything looked the same. I'm using the terms from Round Earth, so everyone forgive me.
Yeah. I totally understand you.
For markers. So I've looked at all the space equipment. Nothing had changed. And then it was an abrupt one dayer. That's why I always tell people I hear what they're saying about, and I believe it, though. I believe for some people it has been going on their whole life. I just didn't see it. I just didn't want to see it because I was such a fucking scientist and debunked and laughed at everybody's face. Fuck you, flat earth. I laughed my ass off. Jump off the edge without looking at the data. So anyway, in 2016, around that time, I told you about that white thing I went into. They put me out into a white thing. I laid down, laid like a dog. So I laid like a dog and curled up with a teddy bear, and I went into a white, weird-ass thing, and then I went into like a coma sleep, and I woke up feeling like, I just woke up out of a coma. The body felt like I hadn't used it in ever, and then I turned on the TV, and those little things at the bottom, it says all the emergency stuff that's going across was all in fluorescent colors. The colors were bright. I'm touching the walls. It's too fucking bright. This is in the morning. It's too bright. Everything was weird. My body felt weird. My stomach, I couldn't eat food. I couldn't eat in. I couldn't even think of food. I went to take my opiates,
Yeah.
all my pills, a little shot glass,
Yeah.
all my shoot it down, walk over to the sink. Nothing can stay in my stomach.
Oh
I'm
man.
like, now I'm having a freak out because I'm
Oh,
going to go through detox. I need my drugs. And so I had to take them again and hold water and hold them down.
damn.
Come on, drugs, stay in my system,
Fuck.
man. And I made it through the day trying to hold in my opiates. That's why I feel bad for people who can't get off
Yeah.
right now. Finally, I just kept throwing them up. And then I had that vision. Vision
Yeah.
says, you're going to give up drugs. Huh? Fuck you.
Yeah.
You're going to give up everything. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Again, I can put this in two places. Was it God, or was it me going through detox? So I always put that on the table for the people. Well, he was just going through detox. Nobody talks to God. Well, correct. I was going through detox, and yes,
Well,
that could be plausible.
Yeah.
But whatever
I
that
mean, like,
vision
I think
was,
it's
told
fine,
me,
like-
hey, man,
Yeah.
yeah. But the day was different. It was a different place.
Experience God.
Yeah.
It's a personal experience.
Yeah.
It's not obviously it has helped
good.
you. I mean, like, where do you prefer to be? Where do you prefer to be? You know, who do you prefer to be? That's good. Did you like yourself,
Exactly.
like being in that kind of state? You know, being like dependent on shit. Like you become like an animal. You know, when you're just like, oh, I don't give a fuck about anything. You know.
Anything is no more drugs. I'm not addicted to. I have no more drugs to worry about.
Now, have you guys thought about this? Maybe technically, if God is God, maybe it's not aliens. It's actually angels that are abducting people.
People have said that before. They are the
Possible.
watchers. The little gray, different dimensional beings could be the watchers. Yeah, I've heard that theory too. I mean, we always put them. We always give them an anthropomorphic, angelic face with his beautiful wings and statuesque bodies, like a Zeus statue. But who's to say they could be just little worker bees that they're interdimensional and God had created them too to be the workers.
Yeah.
You know, God doesn't have hands. We do.
Well, there is got to be some kind of a storyline because let's just say, I mean, we understand God has created everything. And in my book, in my world, this exists because God has allowed it to exist. So you talk about demons, you talk about aliens, you talk about Satan. None of those things would exist without this allowance that they can exist. Okay.
Correct.
So what is the deeper meaning of all this? What is the deeper meaning of like having to deal with aliens who disguise themselves as angels, you know, or as demons? You know, they kind of, you know, one end of it is like, wow, and then it kind of supports an idea or maybe a religion, you know, when you see these aliens in a certain way, but also when you think of them as demons at the same time. I mean, I just wonder what kind of effect it comes, you know, it has on you. If you genuinely thought demons were coming after you and abducting you, I mean, it puts you in such a psychotic state of mind. You know, you have no control. It's like that movie Fire in the Sky. Have you seen that movie where those guys get abducted and, you know, and that abduction scene is like horrific. It's nightmare-ish, you know? Yeah, absolutely. And like the guy, the way they go ahead.
Oh no, I'm saying if you stare at my thumbnail, part of my thumbnail is part of from that movie of this Fire in the Sky with Bob floating.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Out there.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
I didn't feel anything bad.
But
like Mike said, it was bad. I didn't feel anything bad. I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel anything. Nothing.
Now, what movie does this comment sound like to you, Bob? Some angels hate humans because we're created species and they believe only nature should create life. When I read that, it reminds me of one movie with Christopher Walken.
Oh, The Prophecy.
The Prophecy, where he's an angel. He's the archangel, and he's pissed that God just loves humans too much, and they want to basically make their own hell, make a second hell in life. But maybe demons. Well, demons are technically fallen angels, right? I mean, Satan himself is a fallen angel.
Well, right, yeah. Yeah. So how many of them fell? Like it's 1/3, right? So that's one clue. Like if you believe in those numbers, 1/3 of the angels,
Third.
became fallen, right? 1/3. But then that means there's 66% left. That's 2 times 33, right? So we're always going to outnumber them 2 to 1,
There's the three.
That's good.
right?
I never heard that number before.
All the threes. So the 13 were all 1/3. The 1/3 angels had fallen. The fallen angels. There you go.
And then he wrote, they think that created life function like Monsanto GMO. They destroyed nature, and the time becomes the wild here. It affects other worlds.
Kind of, yeah.
Well, yeah. I
I
mean,
mean, I'm a big believer in seeds. I like natural seeds. I don't believe in GMO. I don't hate it, but I don't
Let's
believe
go
in it.
back. Remember on another show when Mike was on, and remember he asked a question about, have you ever felt when you're sleeping or something and then you could not move, your body could not move at all?
Sleep
Remember when Mike talked
paralysis.
about that? Now I can't
Sleep
remember.
paralysis.
Was that part of maybe an alien abduction, or was that more near death experience we were talking about?
Abduction. You've had that. That's what your experience was for the. I asked you, have you ever been abducted? What's your experience? Now I've had no memories. I just wake up like I felt like I've been somewhere, and like I had a tooth, like I had a wisdom tooth removed, and they put me out in the dentist chair, and I'm just waking up out of a deep sleep, and I might have a small ache or pain somewhere, but nothing bad. And that's how I do it. But when you talked about being sleep paralysis, that's what you talked about, Eric. That was yours.
I have had that experience. I don't know about being abducted myself. But when I was younger, I used to think about being abducted and being worried about it. So I don't know. But in my memory, thus far, I have not had any kind of like a recall of being abducted or anything. But I do have memories of being having where you wake up and you can't move, trapped in your body, and it's like kind of like a very paranoid feeling. You feel trapped in your body and you want to move. And I remember there was one time two kind of like light entities down, and like I got this feeling like they realized that I was awake, and I knew what was going on, and they had to kind of shock me. Like they were giving me so much energy, like I could feel that one side of me and another one and the other one, and both of them had on me, like holding me down, me like being up and like kind of being observant and like beings, you can say. And that's kind of what I felt. I could feel that they realized that I'm up, so they were shocking me with energy, so it got me super high. It made me feel like blissful, It made me feel like whoa, and then I just kind of like switched off because I've had that kind of experience before.
That's cool.
And then I was passed out. I was gone. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's like it's not like you've been beat up, or that's a decent one. I call it a decent one. I don't know that I hear these people talk about these horrific
it is
stories. And I'm like, I don't remember anything like that. No, I don't remember. I'm not injured. In fact, I did my multiple. I had multiple. Eric knows I had multiple crushed discs all the way up and down my spine. I could barely walk. I had sciatica in my leg. My liver was gone. I'm gonna die eventually. I'm not gonna be in a wheelchair. I'm gonna be overweight, and my liver is gonna give out. I'm gonna have jaundice and die. That was my future. Now my fucking spine is 100% fixed. And my liver is fixed. Everything is fixed. So they didn't do anything bad.
It's a miracle.
I say thank you to God. Maybe they use these little guys as worker bees the worker bees to fix me. Right. I know that had to happen. Or was it he just did his little waved his hand and had some magical moment where I got fixed? Well, maybe it doesn't work that way in mechanics. Maybe there does require a little bit of a labor on somebody's half. So maybe
this person says, Lady Jasmine says, I've had an out-of-body abduction, but was able to stop it. I got so pissed that the anger helped me put a stop to it.
Wow.
Wow.
But you would think
Yeah.
something that powerful, there's no way for you to stop it. If they could do that to you, I mean,
I couldn't tell you how they could.
But our free will does play a part of everything, because that's part of the reason. It's like if you're unconscious, you lose this ability to have free will. But if you're conscious, and you can still plead, you can still pray, and some abductions, like the one more, I would say, quote unquote, nefarious, or a little bit more on the dark side with the gray aliens, like the kind of the fire in the sky type of situation, those type of abductions, which are like very, horrific in experience. People have prayed to Jesus, from what I've read, and these abductions stopped. They stopped happening. So that also kind of gives a little bit more, let's say, weight and credence to that way of thinking.
Yeah.
And then another way of thinking about it is, why would, quote unquote, extraterrestrial beings who come millions of light years away come to Earth, and if you pray psychically that Jesus saved me or whatever, and they should stop from doing whatever they should be doing. So it gives you a clue that these guys are not exactly that. It could be something else. Most likely something else.
You guys know, in the movie Fire in the Sky, I know a lot of people think it's a movie, it's all completely fake. But if you look at the true story part of that, all 5 of them really did take a lie detector test. Now, I understand people can pass those tests, but it's rare in life that all 5 of them passed.
Yeah, it's
now, and these guys, some of these guys are like rednecks. I'm not saying rednecks is a bad thing, but they're not trained to lie and pass a lie detector test.
Yeah.
So to get all 5 of them, that's you got to look at that like, hey, there's some truth here.
They're logging.
Hey, I grew up around rednecks, man. I know rednecks. I grew up in Wisconsin, in a small town, Ripon, Wisconsin, man. I know what rednecks are.
But you know what I mean. They're not trained to beat a lie detector test. Maybe 1 or 2, but all 5 of them passed that lie detector test.
Yeah, I believe them. I believe whatever whatever it was and whatever it did. I'm not sure if they were good. Again, whenever there's a good, there's a bad side. I think equally bad. I joke about how when I woke up in this place, my friends look different. They remind me of the goatee people, like in the cartoons where you have the good person version of yourself, then you have the bad version of yourself with the goatee, like the evil goatee. Like when Spock was in one dimension, he was clean faced. Other dimension, Spock had this evil goatee with these weird ass eyebrows. He looked evil, Yeah. I built it in this place with my own friends. These were friends that were good people, but they were just not good people. They were just wanting to make me mad. They were irritating me on purpose, and they wouldn't. It's not their MO. It's not who they were.
That was their purpose. They wanted to piss you off. They wanted to piss you off. That's it.
Since I've been here in this place, these are the people that I have known throughout my life, not the same people. They have agendas. They're being used like a pawn in this big-ass, huge comic book video game to either piss me off, take something away that I needed and then I don't need, I found out later on, so it helped, or just do something to push me in the direction I need to be. But they weren't themselves doing it. They're a different person. They've looked
they were like
different. I had a friend. I had a friend I talked about. Well, he had Eric, you've got that birthmark. He's got a colored birthmark on his face. Okay, the side of his face is one big birthmark. Still good looking dude. Yeah. But he grew a beard and it covered up most of it, but you see a little bit of the outside of it. But other than that, the beard was a good idea. When I woke up in 2016, it's gone. There's no birthmark. It's gone. I stared at his face. He goes, "What are you staring at?" I said, "What happened to you? What are you talking about?"
This is what the news try to do to make everybody sound like they're crazy. A stress-deprived couple accidentally invented the modern alien abduction phenomenon.
What are they talking about?
They invented the phenomenon. I didn't know it was a phenomenon.
They invented.
When did they invent it?
Wow.
It was invented in 1961. Barney and Biddy Hill were driving on a rural highway
across the world. Thousands of people who don't even know each other, who's all telling very same story about their abduction experience, must have just gotten it. One couple. We got it.
Just
Yeah.
one.
Close. Let's go.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and I guess it started one night, September 19th, 1961. Okay, so there was never even abduction stories before 1961. Come on.
This has a huge. Okay, I know the story. I know this story. I know it from my class. I had a parapsychology class. We talked about this story. We analyzed every inch of this story. This new one is Mandela affected. I don't know if you guys knew that. Now, I've talked about it before. The new story with Betty and Barney Hill has Mandela effects in it because now in this story, the Betty and Barney remember and their when they did their psycho or whatever, they bringing them out, whatever the psychiatrist is doing, they're putting them under for they remember. Yes, they remember them speaking German. Some of them were speaking. Some of the aliens. Read the article. You guys do your own research. We always say here. They're speaking German, and there is a Irish. Well, what they called the Irishman. Okay, this is where it gets weird. Don't point at me, people. There's a red bearded man in the in the spaceship. There is a human in the spaceship. I don't know if it's me, but there's a red bearded. They call him the Irishman in the spaceship. The red bearded man in the spaceship, and the aliens themselves were speaking German. So you guys tell me that's new. I've never heard of this before. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Betty and Barney Hill saying that anybody spoke German.
No, dude. Betty and Barney Hill is the most famous UFO abduction in history of ufology. If you're into UFO at all, you have to be familiar with that.
Yes.
I don't fucking ever remember German-speaking people or red-bearded Irishmen. I don't remember any of that shit.
There it is. Thank you very much.
Is it normal to believe you have been abducted by aliens? There's articles. It's normal to believe you're abducted by aliens.
Perfectly normal.
Perfectly normal.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's true. But at the same time, it kind of like, people who are on the fence about it, they're like, oh, yeah. I mean, people who believe it, of course, it's real for them. But for other people, it's normal to believe. It's like, it's not real or not real. It's just normal to believe. That's all it means. And people just kind of file it away and be like, well, yeah, it's okay. Like, somebody believe it. It's kind of like I believe in Jesus, and some people believe in alien abductions.
Yeah.
It's normal to believe it.
And Nazis and spaceships. And Nazis. They believe in floating spaceships. According to that, I think in this timeline, the government just poo-pooed on it a little bit. They changed it in this timeline to sound like the Nazis were flying the Deglaka through time and space, and they invented these little grays to help them do their work, and they're like abducting people and Americans. There was a movie where the Nazis controlled the moon, and after they lost the war, some of them went to the moon using this UFO technology, and they created their what the fuck was the name of that movie? It's like Nazis on the Moon or something. It came out in 2000, and they teched up, and they were actually planning to invade Earth again, many years later. And so it's hilarious. I want to see that. I'm going to look for that. I want to watch. Somebody in the cyber.
That sounds good.
I want to see it. Nazis on the moon. I want to see that. I still think that
it's a movie.
I still think they won the war here. In this timeline, I think the Nazis will. I don't think they won I think they won the agenda. I think it was one big family agenda, and the Nazis were used as tools to win the agenda. Because when I heard of all these new invasions in America, Black Tom, the balloons off the West Coast,
Torpedo Bay.
German agents blowing up shit. It definitely
Torpedo Alley. Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to show you
Yeah,
guys.
Germany won. They're kicking our ass. You know, they're kicking
Now,
our ass.
I
I'm
think
gonna-
they won this one.
I'm going to show you guys. This is an article says 13 reasons to believe in aliens. Okay. First one says the government literally just admitted it's taking UFO seriously.
Yeah.
So I guess they never took it seriously in the past.
Oh no.
Mhm.
Project Blue Book.
Yeah, no kidding. And number
And
two,
then
Harry Reid says we're not taking them seriously enough.
mhm.
Yes. I think they're just interdimensionals, but hell yes.
Scientists are suddenly much more bullish about the possibilities of life out there.
In there.
Mhm.
We're changing the words in there.
Who is
Yeah.
saying the words? I'm not.
Oh, I'm changing the
they are.
words. I'm changing the words. No life out there, life in here, there, in here, dimensional.
They're especially bullish about these planets. I'm not going to read all these
Mhm.
paragraphs. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah. And there is
but like,
documentation. Wow.
Ooh.
Look at that. Alien with
But,
Bob Steve.
Come on, we're in 2020 now, Eric. We're in 2020. Like Oswald was like 49?
Yeah.
Oswald?
Yeah.
1949?
I'll look at let me see.
Shit.
Like,
yeah.
I
40.
think yes, 49. It's like 71 years. And this is where we are in terms of quote unquote, like they might exist because like the
1947.
stock market people. 47
1947.
is it? Okay.
Yes.
Even more. That's been 73 years.
Yeah. Well, you got Tom DeLonge from Angels and Airway, or Blake 182. It's supposed to be the speaker for the human race to go talk to something to the stars, who's now working with NASA to be the one to speak to the extraterrestrials who knows about all the alien technology. He's played his little fucking guy. I always bring up Tom DeLonge and his
see, look
fucking
at your
life.
drawing.
Ooh, isn't that pretty? Are they underwater? Is that?
Did you draw these, Bob? Did you draw these?
Go back.
Look.
What is that?
Look, he's smiling. Guy. That reptilian?
What is that? This lady underwater?
Yeah, looks like it.
Oh, this guy?
Some kind
And
of
then he's smiling.
yeah. Yeah, he's
What is?
a nice dude, man. Look at him. You can go hug that
Yeah.
social distancing this alien.
Okay, just for the record, I had looked at all the alien pictures, like because I'm an enthusiast. Where I was like, everybody does, right? I've never seen that one before. That's new for me. I've never seen that depiction of an alien before.
Asteroids looks an awful lot like a rocket ship. Huh?
What? Never seen something like that either.
Wow.
Always been
What is that
around.
one? What is that one?
It's supposed to be. Let me see here. We may have just seen an actual flying saucer.
Is it bigger than Jupiter?
I don't know, man. I don't feel like reading. There's a lot of reading here. Here,
Don't read.
I'll put the article in the chat if somebody else wants to go read this stuff.
It was cool to see that one at the end of this month, the one for Jupiter, that big green light. We're going to see a big green ball in the sky. What do you guys think about that? What is that about? I saw a red one. Was it sometime back? I was trying to figure out what it was. We all know those spinning orb things up there aren't stars. I'm just trying to figure what the red one was. Oh God, what was it? I think it was Beetlejuice. They said it was. I'm not sure. Changing its color. From red to orange.
Beetlejuice.
Remember, Roswell was a balloon crash, guys. It was a balloon crash. Nothing crashed there. See, it says in the article. The news don't lie.
Well,
Never.
Don't forget Earth President Bill Clinton. Went there and actually had it released. What was it, back in the 90s? He had it released. He finally researched it and found out it was, in fact, a weather balloon.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Yeah,
Mystery solved.
Yeah, he went and
Yeah.
researched it, and it had it in all the papers. I remember reading it, laughing my ass off, going, "What did Bill Clinton do now? Is there a child involved?" And I went to the paper. Oh, no
Come
child
on.
involved. It's
Oh no.
about it's a balloon.
It took a president 50 years to figure out that it was a balloon crash. That's how
Took a
smart our
long-
government is.
Hey, that's how long it takes to figure out this. You know, you got to go into the minute details of things. You got to understand the material of these balloons. You know, maybe it's an alien technology that's disguised as a balloon. You never know. I mean, you got to really look into it. You know, I mean, it was alien technology that it had disguised itself as a balloon. Maybe it's not alien technology. It's the Russian technology. They're so sophisticated. You know,
Those
Yeah.
fucking Russians. Those
It's
goddamn
endless.
Russians.
Well, they remember when the picture of the Roswell crash, and you had the sergeant whatever holding up the pieces, and he had that paper, and that paper you were able to at our time you were able to all the enthusiasts were able to zoom in on that paper he was holding, and had a lot of information. In the old photography of the old picture of the Roswell crash, when he had the parts and pieces like he's holding it up. Everybody was zooming in on that paper he was reading. But I guess in this timeline, if you can find that picture, that paper's gone. That paper is I guess it's gone. It's just Mandela affected. It's gone. I remember the paper. He was holding a piece of paper that everybody tried to zoom in on. But I guess the paper's gone. So look up Roswell crash photos, Eric. As simple as that. Let's look at some Roswell crash photos. We all might remember something cool, or maybe it'll be a couple Mandela effects.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second.
No problem.
I got too many browsers open.
Don't forget, guys, if you're bored, you can always take up cat hobbies. You can take up cat hobbies, cat houses you can build while you have your sirens. Remember, you can learn how to rub your pussies down real good there. We got different. You can rub them real good while you're having the virus.
Now,
Catch things.
wow, that alien kind of looks like you.
Does it?
Without the beard, if I shave your beard off in your head, you're probably that alien right there. You're probably this guy right here.
My God. Does he have nipples?
If he has nipples, they should put rings on him.
Oh, there it is. See that one?
Yes.
Did you see the newspaper? I guess in this timeline also it has a. Okay, guys, I'm gonna say it. We're family friendly, but it seems to have a vagina. It's like it didn't have it in our time. It was like androgyny. It was okay,
maybe it's tucked, but maybe it's like Buffalo Bill. You know, maybe it's tucked behind.
Oh shoot! You think so?
Possible, man.
But Eric, go to the top. I guess he has the paper. Where was it? Oh, maybe that was
over here. This paper.
Yeah, I think that's the paper. Yeah, that's it. So I guess there's nothing on it now, or some bullshit. Like, is something different about it? People said it was a difference. Something about the Mandela effect in that somewhere. Those are the diehard like researchers say that's all different on the paper. I don't know. So do we have any of the bodies? Well, the aliens. Aliens. There's the body. Get the body pictures up, Eric. Click it. Go there, Eric. Go there.
9 places to visit if you believe in aliens. What? I guess these are fake.
Only if you believe in aliens, but if you don't, then don't visit them.
Yeah, these are fallen angels, people. That's all. Fallen angels. I want to see if they had a vagina.
Roswell. Hey, Bob, the meteorite's green. This picture, this alien's green.
Wait a minute. Is it Krypton green?
I don't know what kind of green it is.
Green, man.
Krypton is green, dude. No, I'm not joking. Outside of us having a great time Mike remembers we're joking around, but Krypton in our mythology was green. So, do we have Krypton coming to Earth? Are we going to get some kind of magic powers? Cool. I like this already. It's just weird. Every day is a new joke in this fucking cool ass Mandela affected world. I love it.
Well, and Chile has been holding UFO sightings tours since 2008. I didn't know that.
No shit. No shit. Everything here is fantasy based, kind of. I see a big ass video game. Well, I see it. Well, as the news call it, the Matrix. I call it a comic book.
Pullman, South Carolina is an official welcome center for aliens. Wow.
Really?
South Carolina. Lucky you guys.
Those bastards. How'd they get picked for that?
I
They put, like,
don't know. Maybe you go to this grocery store called Food Liner.
Oh, very good. Very good. I want to see some actual aliens. Are there any actual alien
What is
pics?
that? It looks like an upside down beehive.
Where is that at?
Space Acorn in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Because this is frozen. Because you're not seeing it moving at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not moving for us.
Oh, shit.
That's why I was wondering what you were doing.
Oh.
I don't see anything.
Oh, hi.
Wow,
Oh.
it's frozen on you guys.
Hi,
I didn't realize
Eileen.
it was frozen.
Hi, guys.
We're looking at aliens, and then you show up. Are you an alien?
I could be. Yeah. So I think you are, Bob, for sure. And you're related to Eric. So, Eric, that makes you an alien, too. How about
Hi.
you, not Chiquita?
Well, depends. Yeah, maybe parts of me, other versions of me could be alien, right?
True.
Well, there's like theories that all humans contain alien DNA. Like we're all slightly different versions of different aliens based on our blood, right? The negative, the positive, the O, the A, the B. And remember, we were talking about white people have Neanderthal genes. So where the heck did those spring from? Boom, dropped in, right?
Here we go. Which one are you guys?
Oh,
Which one
wasn't
are
this
you?
a new one that
Naturally
got very
fit in this
popular?
world very well, you know.
No, it's very true.
I
I think the
think
people who came here to change the world are definitely aliens because they're not thinking very human, like Cabal.
They're fallen angels. I think the RH negatives were fallen angels. We're all initially bad people, but we've been here for so long we became good.
I knew it. David
Yes.
Bowie's an alien. Knew it.
Ooh, he's a fucking alien. He's got two different color eyes, and he did not have that
See?
in my
The
time.
Mandela effect. He died twice in life. See? Knew it. Knew it.
Nice.
Bye, guys. Yeah, he also all of his music, like a lot of it was always about spaceman and
Space.
traveling out in space.
All space. And he made that last album, Black Star. Black Star.
Yeah.
What is that about? It's about it was a play. It was actually a play.
I didn't see the play. I heard the album.
Yeah, it's really, really, really.
I think it's
deep.
about Saturn. Isn't it about the ruling elite thinking that Saturn is our black star, that it just kind of like burned out?
Potentially. He was an alien from another realm, another dimension, somewhere else, and he landed on a planet, and they all have tails. So he did not have a tail, but he landed on a place they had tails.
Now read that article. Is President Obama an alien? A real alien? Why?
No,
With a lightsaber.
I think Michael is. His
Michael Obama.
Yes, Michael Obama has a tail. I think Michael Obama has a reverse tail. We still know about. Yeah, he looks real. He actually confessed. They asked him a question about the aliens, and he said that. I think you guys already heard that one about. He talked about the lizard brain portion of the brain.
Yeah.
He says that's our alien ancestors. We're like, what are you talking?
Well, that reptilian
Well, you
brain.
could be correct.
Didn't you say, Robert, that it grew? That it's bigger now? It used to be really small in the base of the neck.
Boom! It's big. It's huge now. It's probably got bigger. I don't have my skull thingy, but yeah, and the whole limbic system changed too. It's been changing. God knows what it looks like now. So
Well, that reptilian brain is the last part to die because it keeps you alive. It's your seeing, hearing, thinking. It's the instinctive part, right? So when we see how like lizards treat their young and stuff, we think, oh, that's a bit cruel. But maybe that's the survival of the fittest is in our lizard reptilian brain.
oh yeah. I mean,
Right.
I joked about that. I was like, when everyone calls the royal family lizards, I was like, actually, technically, we're all lizards. You're calling them lizards, but they're but everybody has the larger when I woke up, I was like looking at my skull thing, I was like, oh, the lizard brain got huge. It's huge, and the outer shell got smaller. So it got elongated. It got elongated, kind of like how the elongated skulls go nowadays. But
Bob, your picture from 2016 right there when you woke up.
There it is.
Alien.
Yes. That's going to happen here.
And that caused you to grow a beard fast.
It does. It does. You guys should all get one inside of you.
Yeah, did you say it was good for your face? It makes your skin more smoother?
It does. It secretes its own urine on your face, yeah. So it makes it malleable. Only for other people, but if it's in you, it just secretes a nice lotion on your skin.
So what about you, Eileen? Have you experienced an abduction?
Yes, that's why Liza was going. I popped into your chat and she's like, you got to go on and tell them about your experience. I did a video, like a coming out video on how my family has had 3 generations of, well, you would call them abduction experiences, but people who are doing it, they just call it contact because you don't really feel abducted. It's like you're borrowed and then you're put back. You're borrowed and you're put back. It's like, it's not scary. It's not horrible. There's no pain involved. I think it has something to do with a breeding program where they're actually monitoring the genes of like people that they've that they might have seeded here a long time ago. Like these people aren't special. They're just the generations and the generations and the generations of their tweaking. Like if they've tweaked human life here, if they have.
I've heard that theory. Actually, that's the dominant theory. Heard that one. The original group, and then they had children down the line. They were probably the Rh negatives mixed with everybody else. They later on, and then down the generations, they're keeping up with the family lineage as they go down through life, thousands of years, like following the family members.
Yeah. But not to hurt people, but to see how we're adapting. And like adapting to Earth, because Earth keeps changing. Like right now, the magnetosphere is getting thin. The Schumann resonance is rising. The sun is changing into the grand solar minimum. So we're getting more magnetic storms, less solar flares. And I think that through the ice ages, the pole flips, and it's not even a flip, it's crust displacement where the crust kind of moves around and any part of the Earth can become magnetic north. And right now we've got this pole drift heading for like Siberia. It's in Siberia now. And when it gets close enough to the equator, that should start another crust displacement, like a top moving around. And then a new part of Earth gets to be magnetic north. So I think they're just like watching how the animal adapts to Earth, constantly changing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Tell us your first time that you felt you've been contacted.
First,
I was like 5, and that's a really common age in contactee families. Yeah,
I remember shit from 5.
I can remember being 2 and like shaking my crib, which was wooden, on a wooden floor to the door so I could escape, but I never quite got out of the crib to the door once I moved the crib to the door. And I didn't sleep in that crib over the age of 2, so that memory has to go even further back. But I was about 5, and we had a fenced-in backyard, which was really safe. So at that time in the 1960s, my mom would put me outside with the dog, toys. It's all fenced in, and then she'd be working in the kitchen, looking through the window as I played outside. And I don't know if she went to another room or forgot what she was doing, or there was a time warp. But I woke up in a field at the end of my street. And I was like, whoa, 5 years old, and it's a little field. So I just walked home, opened the gate, and went back in the backyard. And that evening, my parents found 2 incisions on the inside of my right thigh. Oh. And they asked me, they said, where did you get that? And I was programmed like a little robot. And I said, a bunny rabbit scratched me. And they went, what? What bunny rabbit? And I said, I was just sitting in the backyard playing with a bunny rabbit, a wild one, right? So they took me to the doctor, and they said, it doesn't look like bunny rabbit scratches. It doesn't look like scratches. It looks like two razor blades cut an even parallel lines about an inch long. And the doctor said, now you're going to have to tell me the truth. How did you get those? Because if you say it was a bunny rabbit, and he pulls out a needle and says, I'm going to have to put this shot in your tummy because it was a rabies shot. Yeah. And I looked at the shot and I went, a bunny rabbit did it. A bunny rabbit scratched me. I was programmed. Even though I didn't want to say that because I was terrified of the needle, I had to say it. It's like that was the cover put in my head. And then the doctor finally said, it's a long series of shots in the tummy over a period of weeks. And he said, I don't think that's a wild animal. I think she's okay to go home. Thank God my parents didn't give me the rabies shots, right?
Yeah, but you saw the rabbit. Did the rabbit have a goat's face? Was it like a goat's face? Was he tall?
At 5 years old, I didn't get to have any memory of any animals except for a bunny rabbit. That's the only memory I came back with.
Was there a time when you actually start having memories of what took you?
Yes. As I got older, it happened to me, my sister, and my mother, and then occasionally their husbands and their sons. And it's happening to my daughter. So they're definitely following the females in my family, but that doesn't mean that they're not following males somewhere else, right? And I started to see like owls, really tall white owls, and I would just like stop the car, and then I wouldn't move because I didn't want to like get too close to it, and then I would be back in the car and the owl would be gone and I'd drive home and maybe 45 minutes to an hour had disappeared. Very short intervals of time.
Wow. Yeah.
And then before I moved to Europe when I was 30, I went on a vision quest with my sister in her SUV four-wheel drive up in the Rocky Mountains. And we were just camping out and hiking and like really being girly about it. Like we didn't have guns or anything like that. And we'd hear noises around the campfire. So we'd always sleep in the truck. We'd never sleep outside because of the noises from like mountain lions and bears, but it was fun. And when we were driving home, we called her husband from Glenwood Springs and said, we just want to let you know we're running a little bit late. Don't worry. We stopped in a hot spring, and had a hot spring bath or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay, no problem. Let's see. We're in Boulder. You're in Glenwood Springs. We'll see you in a couple of hours. And we didn't come back for 4 hours. It was daylight. And we got lost. Even though she knew that road, it was, like I-70, I-75. I don't know what it is, probably I-70. And it was a regular road that she drove. We went up these switchbacks into the top of a mountain with no lights or houses. And then we saw a pull-off area with a little triangle made out of stones, like a little pyramid. And we saw a baby bear on the side of the road. And we're like, oh, baby bear. And then we pulled over into that spot where the baby bear would be. Now, we're two grown women. We would never stop by a baby bear because that where a baby bear is, a mama bear is, right?
You're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
At like midnight. You don't mess around with baby bears on a mountain. But we just pulled over, walked to the back of the truck, opened it up. And the next thing we knew, I was in the woods in front of the car, and she was in the woods behind the car. And we were both walking towards the car, which had all the doors open, the trunk open, all the lights on inside, the car lights on, but it wasn't running. And we just got in the truck, closed everything up, and drove back to Boulder as quickly as we could.
Wow.
But we had about at least 2 hours of missing time then because her family were waiting up for us, and they're like, "Where have you been? What happened? After you stopped to call us from Glenwood Springs, where the heck did you go?" And as we were getting close to Boulder and the sun was coming up, a giant elk on the left of us started to turn. And we were like, oh, crap, because she'd hit a deer before when I was in the car. You can't do much when a deer runs across the road. No. And you slam your brakes on, you still sometimes hit them. And this elk turned and ran towards the car and went right through the back seat. So we were both hallucinating the elk. That was like, she's like, did you see that? And I'm like, yeah. Did you see that? And I'm like, I thought we were dead. And she said, I thought we were dead for sure because the elk was taller than the car. And it just ran through the back seat. And then that's never happened to us before. And then we got to her house, and it took a while for us to process what had happened and the missing time. But I'm much better with it because I'm kind of used to it happening like in different countries, and my roommates and housemates will notice. They'll hear like a sonic boom, like they'll hear this explosion in the house, come running into my bedroom and say, what happened? That boom was in your bedroom. And I'll just be sitting there wide awake and go, oh, nothing happened. Go back to sleep. It's all fine. Everything's good. Yeah.
Have you ever seen that tall rabbit come back?
It was a little tiny bunny that I remembered holding in my lap. So it was an implanted memory. And the only ones that I've seen that I'm allowed to remember are the grays that are about 4 feet tall, 3 to 4 feet tall, not the tall ones. And they do all the collecting. They get you and they bring you to wherever you need to be, like if it's an interdimensional ship or a ship above your house. And then I've seen standing in the background, the Nordic, like they're like shimmery people. You can tell that they're not solid. You can see right through them. They're like a hologram.
Okay.
And they look human, but they always like have perfect bodies and perfect hair and perfect eyes. So you know that that's not what they really look like. They're projecting an image so that you won't freak out and get scared. And it's very shimmery and you can see through it. So you know they're not there. You know that there's some kind of a being that the Greys kind of work for, like little robots, like little minions. And I don't think that's what they really look like, but they're projecting an image that you'd be comfortable with.
Is that the Palladians, right?
I don't know. Some people say it is.
What do they really look like?
I have no clue. Don't know. I've never been able to see past the beautiful shimmery holograms.
Oh, maybe reptilians.
I wouldn't mind though, because I don't think like reptilians are bad and Palladians are good. I think they're, just like us. We can be good, we can be bad, and we're human.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. They didn't tell you to remove people's heads, right?
No.
Okay, I want to make sure because the tall rabbit does that.
The tall rabbit. That was my little bunny rabbit at 5 years old. Yeah.
Big one will have you take the heads off. If you take the heads off enough people, you can go home back to Sagittarius Farm.
But I guess of all questions,
okay.
I guess all questions. Why your family? Why you guys are selected? I guess
we're not special. We're super duper normal. Very Irish. We're 3/4 Irish, 1/4 Hungarian. But my grandparents on both sides came from the old world, so we're new Americans. Like my dad and mom were first generation Americans, and I'm the second generation American. We've not been here very long. We're very European. So who knows what they're following and tracking. It's not because you're special. It's because there's something in your body and your bloodline that they need to keep track of.
Oh yeah, I believe that.
Yeah,
but that's special in itself. But that is special in itself. Like if they are following you and they are keeping track of you, like you are special to them. I mean, we're all human beings, but we're not all.
I just don't feel special, like arrogant, like woohoo, I get to have contact with aliens. You don't. I think a lot of people have contact and they just don't know they do. I don't know why I know. I can remember like so many instances of being taken in Germany, in England, in Chicago, in Colorado. And I always ask to know. And then like one time I was left awake during whatever they were going to do. And it freaked me out so much. I just started like screaming in my head, put me out, put me out, put me to sleep. It didn't hurt, but it scared me because I had asked to be left awake. So they're like, okay. Right. So then out come these like, I don't want to call them probes because that's like too like stereotypical. They're just like metal, blue light with long stainless steel things that can measure like your blood, your heart rate, your DNA, changes to your DNA, your toxicity based on water and food without actually breaking the skin. And they look super scary. So as they're coming at you, I'm like, put me to sleep, put me to sleep. But I knew they weren't going to like break the skin or hurt me. So,
but even though you're saying you shouldn't really be like scared, but if you have kids, you got to be somewhat kind of scared, no matter what, if they take one of your kids, because you don't know when it's ever going to start switching, where they might get a little bit more aggressive with the person.
Greedy.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. They never get more aggressive. And if you read the book by what's that guy, Edgar Mitchell, he's the astronaut who had like the noetic sciences. He had like 5 years of expert study, regular people being they call themselves contactees. They don't call themselves abductees anymore. And everybody who was interviewed over 5 years, like 5,000 people, all of them except for like 5% said, oh, it's not scary. They don't do anything bad to you. And 5% were like, oh, I was taken against my will. It was terrifying. You know, they probed me. But 95% are like, hey, it's no big deal. They don't hurt you. It's part of a science project. They put you back. In fact, 50% of those people got healed. So if there was something wrong with them or a loved one, they would request a healing from whoever was taking them to study them, and they would get healed. So that was kind of cool.
Now, have your kids ever said they felt like they've been taken by any chance?
Yes, and when they started to, I had to go through the whole family history so that so they would feel comfortable and safe. And it's really important that you have a choice with this. You can't not be, I think you can be uncontacted. I think if you say, no, I refuse to cooperate, I'm done with this, I have my right to say no, I think they'll leave you alone. Because that happened to one family member. One family member said, absolutely not, it stops now. And it did. But I always found it so interesting that I never stopped it. And I always found it so like not harmful that I taught the next generation, when they started reporting what was happening and being taken and who showed up in their room and where they went, I taught them about the lineage of our family, and that, you know, you can stop at any time you want, but if you need a healing, you also might be able to ask for a healing.
Now, what if they take you and you come back, but you're like now in a multiverse in a way, and that's why we have memories. We call it Mandela effect. Maybe we're not in the right timeline when they're done with you, and that's why we're
one of the possibilities is I've been talking to Mandela affected people a lot. Oh, by the way, the name of that book, if you guys want to read it, it's 800 pages of the contactees' experiences. They're normal people, and it's called Beyond UFOs: The Science of Consciousness and Contact with Non-Human Intelligence, Volume 1. It's like $30 on Amazon.
Okay.
And you can read everybody's experiences and see that 95% of the contactees worldwide, even with reptilians and praying mantises, are positive interaction.
Somebody does have a question for you, Eileen. Somebody does have a question.
Who's the author?
They want to know about your last abduction.
Okay, so I've not been getting abducted very much since I went through menopause. This is getting very personal, isn't it? And I'm like, dang, man, you guys have forgotten about me. You're not even interested in me anymore just because I'm not like reproducing eggs, right? And so I said, I just want to know that you're still there and that I'm still part of the team. And I'm walking my dogs and it's, looking at starlight. And then like the next morning, I woke up with a scoop mark on my wrist in the shape of a triangle. Nice. And it didn't hurt. It didn't bleed, and it healed perfectly. And it was like, I don't know, like a burn or a blister in the shape of a triangle. And I'm like, okay, I got my answer. It's like, okay, we're still here. You're still part of the fam, but we just don't need you anymore because you're post-reproductive, right?
That's interesting, really. I mean,
yeah,
because That's a good question to ask people who've been abducted, like especially women. Have they stopped after you menopause?
That's a good.
Well, it sure slows down, and probably men too, because men go through like a male menopause. Even though you guys don't admit it, everything starts to slow down.
Oh no, it gets bigger.
Never.
But back to your first.
No, I got
back to your first question about the Mandela effect. I found that people in our community, there's a lot of people who have had near-death experiences. They're very creative, like deep thinkers, philosophers, artists, singers, dancers, songwriters, writers, and loads of them have had alien contactee stories. Loads. So I'm wondering if the people who can see now, see through the veil of what's really happening here, as opposed to being dropped on a dimension. You're not dropped on a different dimension. You just see the reality behind your dimension, and it looks different. So I wonder if the people who are contactees are also Mandela affected because they see more, they know more. Yeah,
it's true. So you had babies for the aliens? Is that what you were doing?
No. Well, okay. I remember holding alien mixes that looked like humans and grays, but they weren't gray. They were just really skinny humans, and they looked very fragile. But I'm not sure they were mine. I was just like, I remember seeing them and holding them as if this is some kind of a mix between humanity and another life form. And I didn't know whether they were doing the inbreeding project to save life on Earth in the future. Like things are going to change here so much that they're going to have to drop these people down to continue life here, or if like some other life form in the universe or the multiverse was going extinct and they needed some of our genes to mix in with their genes so that their life could continue on their matrix. So I didn't know who it was to benefit, but I could see at least a human and alien like hybrid.
Okay. And you said that book, who wrote that book again? So we have the author's name?
Yeah. Okay. So he's dead. Edgar Mitchell is he's the astronaut who came back from, and he was forever changed. And he started the Noetic Sciences, which explored the paranormal and consciousness. And he's gone now. So I don't know if his name's on the book or not, but it's written by scientists from like Harvard and Stanford. And Edgar Mitchell realized nobody ever studied the contactees. Have you guys noticed that? Like you'll get a book like Whitley Strieber, Communion, but nobody's actually studied the contactees worldwide. So all these scientists got together and they studied the contactees worldwide, and they published it in an 800-page book for $30 on Amazon. And I'm telling you, that is an awesome book, because they're even saying that reptilians had to back off interaction in these studies and watching and this watching of Earth, because the human animal was so terrified of reptiles that they just didn't get a good relationship going. So they've kind of backed off now.
But can you imagine a DNA mix, an alien and Bob put together? Holy shit. What does that thing look like? An alien with a beard?
I probably have babies out there. I think I've been abducted for specifically for breeding. I'm like putting them.
You are wearing glasses, a hat, and a big furry beard. So we don't know what you really look like. As far as we know, you could be like a tall gray under all that beard.
I could be a tall gray. I could be a tall white. I'm a white guy.
Or a reptilian, or a praying mantis. No, not a praying mantis.
It could be a dog man.
Hey, I got a question for Mike. Hey, Mike, you're in India right now, right?
Yes.
In the culture over there, is there any culture talk about, I don't know, alien abductions from where you're at? Is there any?
Yes. From Indians.
I don't really interact with the locals too much. I'll be honest, and I spend most of my time interacting with people like you guys, on the internet, and we're all living in different places, and so Well, no, it's an honor to all of us. I mean, this it's an honor to me. It's just a platform where we can all meet and speak to each other, and we have the technology to do that. But as far as the locals are concerned, I don't speak Hindi fluently. You know, I don't really hang out with people, and even if it was like a foreigner nearby, I probably wouldn't hang out with them because we have to have something in common, and we have to have same
Yeah.
kind of interest, you
Yeah.
know.
I can see you asking. I can see you asking them, "What do you feel about aliens?" Like, who the fuck are you?
What? Actually, their gods, though, Mike, don't you think their gods are very alien-like when you study them? They're like very otherworldly, all their gods.
I mean, I like this whole Vedic tradition. It's like with all these different kind of deities. There's this kind of philosophy of how everything is a living, and then and you for this and a god for that, god of the wind and god of the monkeys. Everybody's got a god, and more personable in that way. It's such
Yeah.
here has a temple, and each temple has so in this area I live in, is very shaman approach thing. They still have this Vedic tradition. So in Vedic history, like a King Rama, he was very famous. He's kind of like King India. King Arthur of India is King Rama, and his guru was this Vashishta. So there's a village named after Vashishta. Vashishta is like one of the 8 rishis of India. And it's there's like a lot of
Oh,
history.
cool.
Like there's a temple here. It's called Manu Temple. That's 20 minutes away from where I'm living, and this is like the story of India, where there's a man did all these animals, and he built the ship just like Noah, and he landed somewhere in the
Nice.
Himalayas, and he replenished the humanities or the human kind in a very similar. And there's only one all of India, uh, and that
Wow.
is for Manu Temple, and it's near here, so it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of history,
That's
Doesn't
cool.
that
and
sound like aliens replenishing planets with life? Because it's in the Sumerian text, Gilgamesh, it's in the ancient Hebrew,
oh yeah,
Noah,
well
and now
they
you're
have
saying
the
it's in the
Vimanas.
Indian text. Yeah.
Right, they have like Vimanas there. So Vimanas is a word that everybody's kind of familiar with. It means like flying vessel, similar
Yeah.
to Ezekiel's
Yeah.
wheel, where you have like counter rotating rings, right? Counter rotating
Yep.
rings on top of each other, and so we have images, and even some of the temples they speculate. Some people speculate because you can't go there. You can see it from afar, but you can't go in. You cannot
Oh,
examine. You cannot go and check out for yourself. But there are like kind of bell-shaped golden structures that's like part of the structure, and some people theorize that those could be actual vehicles themselves.
Yeah.
So I mean, like India's got a whole like slew of like artifacts, like kind of like the pyramids, but like they have whole temples that are completely dug out of rock. Like
yes.
you have a huge rock, and then it's like and then every little detail of it is like it's so perfect, and you have this like big football size that's dug out, and they just like basically started carving this temple out, you know, out
They're
of the like a
amazing. I've seen
big huge
pictures.
piece of rock. Yeah,
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 amazing.
yeah,
Amazing.
That's cool, man. That's actually cool. I like that.
yeah.
It reminds me of Battlestar Galactica we talked about. Remember the movie, the series? They were all across they're all coming back to the country or the planet they started from. Remember Eric, Battlestar Galactica?
Mm-hmm.
You guys
Yeah,
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
that?
the
a little
original
bit. Yeah.
one.
The lost tribe is actually Earth.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, Terra, they call
Yep.
it Terra. It was Earth. The original. They're all coming back. They're being chased by Cylons. I think everything's like a big ass
Right.
comic, man, in fucking history. I love mythology, man. Everything's like even being abducted by aliens. It's kind of the same way. I like it.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
the Hope, I think it's the Hopis who say that the human was brought up from inside the earth by ant men and ant women. Do you remember that? So there's
Yeah,
Yeah.
always in
Atman.
mythology
Atman.
like there's some like interaction with another otherworldly being that kind of helps humanity on Earth somehow.
Like the dwarfs.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
the definition of Atman in here, we have like the Brahma, which is the they call it the absolute. So Brahma, and then there's Vishnu, and there's Shiva. But when you become one, with Brahma, when you actually merge with Brahma, you become Atman.
Nice.
Atman is the actual. So you still, it's kind of interesting because you still have this concept of Brahman, and then if you become one with Brahman, then you yourself become Brahman. But actually, they don't use the same word for it. It's Atman. Atman is like a kind of soul, but it's also like a greater soul when you emerge with it. So there's a lot of interesting, like it's all related. All the stuff is interconnected in such a way, and you having your own personal experience is just that is your journey, and could be very unique to you. Of course, there will never be another Robert Wood or Eric or Eileen. It's like, and then like, because you cannot occupy the same space and time.
Yeah.
You could have a genetic copy of Eric, but you cannot operate at the same space together.
And we could clone Bob.
Right? So,
we could have lots and lots of Bobs. We could all have a Bob.
Well, we may already have many Bobs, actually. I mean, I don't doubt it. I think
Without
he's
the beard,
everywhere.
what does he look
I've
like?
seen that. I've seen that guy before. I'm sure I've seen that guy somewhere, and I've seen him in Asia, in China. That guy with that hat, with sunglasses, and that beard. He's fucking everywhere, man.
With guitars, lots of guitars, in a band called ZZ Top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I mean, this whole concept of aliens is just kind of like, like if you get used to the idea, like we're all aliens. We're all kind of a little bit like strange in our own way. We don't really belong here, but we do kind of belong here. And maybe we kind of belong with each other, but maybe not. So there's always that little space where like, where do we actually meet? Where are we meeting? What's the meeting point? Like in the terms of like our psychological, emotional stance of things, And here we are talking about something.
Yeah.
But it's
awesome. Like we're all visitors here, right? And we all landed here for this experience. Right. And then when we leave our vehicle bodies behind, they have to stay on Earth. Who knows where we'll go next? Right?
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm staying here.
And we need varying degrees of experience. We need differing experiences. We need to have experience becoming a man or a child, and this kind of experience and that kind of experience. And experiences are just experience. We equate that bad, like you were saying. Like some people don't want to be abducted. Abduction as a bad experience, but some other people same way, no different, but they take it in a completely different. Like, okay, that's part of my life, and I just
like
die portion.
I liked it so much. I'm like, why aren't you taking me anymore? I felt insulted. I'm like, hey, what about me?
I'm not relevant. Am I not relevant anymore?
I'm irrelevant now.
I produced children for you, man. I gave you babies. Come on.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You owe me. You owe me.
You owe me.
You owe me some abductions.
You use me like a sleeping bag, man.
Hey, I'll tell you another phenomenon that my daughter sees in her bedroom, and like she'll have a friend have a sleepover, stay over. They see it too. They'll see a white light or a blue light flash across the room, always in the same direction towards the closet. And then sometimes the dogs go in there and they stare at the closet from the bed and they growl at the closet. I'm not kidding. And right before her tonsillectomy, I had to go in and wake her up at like 5 a.m. And I walked in and the lights were off and there was a white flash right there, like a camera went off. And I walked over and there was no cell phone, no camera, no TV, nothing electronic. And I woke her up and I said, come on, hon, we got to go. It's your tonsillectomy day. And I felt like that flash made me feel safer. Like it was a sign, hey, we're here. Everything's going to be fine. It was some kind of a nice
I felt
sign.
like that flash made me feel safer. Like
it was a sign. Oh, we're here.
Oh,
everything's
hello.
gonna be
Hey,
fine.
hey,
It was
hey,
kind of
hey, Charlie. I
a
think
nice.
I hear an echo from
Yeah.
your window. Do you have headphones or do you have it playing in the background?
A nice.
I hear an echo from your window. Do you have because you guys can hear that too, right? The echo.
Yeah, it's explain to him. He's probably got you. He's probably got you on a different window.
Do you check to see if you have it playing on another window?
He's probably got you on a different window.
Oh,
How's that?
There it is.
There it is.
He made it, guys. He made it. Congratulations. Hey, better late than
3 PCs later, I'm finally here.
it works, man. So we've been talking about your area. We've been filling in for you, my good friend.
Well,
So
thank
you
you.
need to get some stories. You owe us a lot of stories here.
So this guy, his name is Charles White. He has a brand new channel called Grandpa's World. And he talks about aliens and abduction in the state of Missouri, correct?
Yeah, we've been going through newfork.org. They've got throughout the United States different stories of alien abductions and all the sightings and saucers and so forth. And we was going to go we started on Kansas. We're doing Missouri now, and I don't know where I'll go from there. But
Wow.
so we've been just seeing
Wow.
what's been logged throughout the United States, and then we might see what's going around the world. And
Oh, cool, man.
Well, I'm going to go back in the chat, guys. I'm looking forward to this. I can't wait to hear your stories, Charlie.
well, thank you.
bye,
Bye,
Eileen.
guys. Bye, Mike. Bye,
Thanks for
Bob.
coming.
Bye, Eric.
Yeah.
Bye,
Mwah.
bye, Eileen. So
Yeah,
Charlie,
well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Well, nice to meet you guys.
Let's just start, Charles.
Yeah.
Why do this? Why research the alien abduction? Is there a reason why you're doing this?
Well, we tried doing a few other things, and they didn't seem to be going too great. So some of my family members, which is kind of young, YouTube said they can't be on here, so we had to have them do their own thing. And we decided just to go with UFOs because it seemed to be something they wouldn't particularly be upset with, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like other stories and I like to do other things, but sometimes we ain't allowed to put that on the TV anymore.
Yeah.
And
It's
the
not real.
TV doesn't allow you to speak the truth anyway. They make you change the truth to match what they want people to
Yeah,
hear.
that's true. Well,
So have you ever felt in life that you've been abducted and this is why you wanted to do research?
no, I've never been abducted. I've never seen any little green or gray or any other colored people or, beings, whatever. But I'm sure a lot of people, including myself, have seen things that we don't know what they are. Okay. I'll give you a couple, three for instances. When I was approximately 13 years old, my parents had to go to Idaho for my uncle's funeral. They left me with some friends for a couple days, and it was out on a farm out in the middle of nowhere. And I was playing with the dog because my uncle was baling hay, and I ran out there to tell him that supper was ready. So it had to be around 6 or 6:30 that night because they always ate in between 6 and 6:30. They didn't change their habits. And I was sitting outside playing with the dog, and I thought, oh, the sun's kind of bright. And then I realized, hey, the sun's over here to the other side. So I was looking south, and I had a heck of a bright light. So I ran in and told my aunt, and by the time I got back, it was gone. So I don't know what that was at all, but it was pretty darn bright. I mean, it was like, wow. So that was a short and sweet one. At my job about 3 years ago, maybe 4, I don't remember exactly what year it was, but I got to work early in the morning and I could sit and see Orion in the sky. And I always like to see any kind of space junk or whatever going over. And something came from the east. It came up pretty fast, but it was only like 20 degrees off the horizon. and it seemed to just hover there for a few minutes. So I thought, well, maybe it's a drone, because there's enough of that junk around nowadays. You never know.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I watched it for a few minutes, and it almost looked like a white cigarette butt getting thrown off of one. And I was like, what? I didn't expect that. I thought, you know how you flick a cigarette butt out and you see the little fire off of it, and wow. And it sat there for a few minutes, and it moved up and down, and probably within 20 minutes or so, it just veered off up to nowhere. I thought, wow, that's crazy. And I told a couple people what I thought might understand, and then I started getting all the other explanations like Earth tilting, and I said, well, yeah, but I don't think it tilted that fast. I mean, so the next morning I got up and I started watching again, and by golly, if it didn't come back again, and it didn't do the exact same thing, but it'd go up and down, and it sat there for a while, and it went above the power lines, and then it was gone. So I had a coworker sit there with me one morning, and it came back again. I said, "Did you see that?" "Yeah." "Well, watch." "Am I crazy?" "No." I said, "Okay, I'm glad." But that's the only other person I could get to see it. And then it never came back again, because we sat there and watched for a month almost till wintertime was getting here. So I kind of gave up on all that. And I had to work overtime one morning. And from sitting outside, I don't know, I had a strange feeling when I got outside my car. I could see all the stars, but it was just as if a black cloud. I couldn't tell you how high, how big, but it was just darkness over me. And it just felt like, like you're under a ceiling or something, you got to duck. I had that feeling I needed to duck. It's like weird. And just seconds later, it was like a dark red, grayish tint, little light. It wasn't flashing, and it just kind of like went on by. And then the stars came back, and I'm going, I had the hairs on my back and my neck sticking up. I got back in my car, and I sat there, and I thought, what in the hell? And the bad thing is, I don't do drugs and I don't drink, but I'm about ready to.
Wow.
I didn't even tell anybody about that one, because they probably would have put me in a little straight jacket and taken me on up to wherever it is they want to take you to these days.
Well, you're safe here. We won't tell the people around you. You're safe.
Well, if my friends see this, they're gonna say, "Charlie, you're just plain nuts." All I can say, the only thing I can say for sure is, if there are aliens, okay, which it's a big universe, everybody says,
Right.
why wouldn't there be life somewhere else? And if there is life somewhere else, they could possibly come down here and abduct people and look at them and see what they're doing and see what they're made out of and what have you. But I do want to click off on this. I don't know. Maybe they just want to see how we're coming along or whatever. And other people say, why don't they make themselves known? And I said, well, in my part of the country, if somebody like that landed in the backyard, you're going to have 23 shotguns in a row. So it's shoot first and ask questions later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or if they have any intelligence, in our backyard.
And they're not dumb. They're not dumb. If they can fly here, they know.
Yeah. They know we have weapons, so they're not going to show themselves. They'll get shot. I mean, I can see that. It's just they're not going to. They'll be shot unless they hover very far away, out of the range of a bullet, and project some big ass. But I don't think they want to cause that much destruction or cause that much problems. They're just like anthropologists. They're just watching.
You guys remember the awesome John Carpenter movie, Starman?
Yeah.
Where it takes the DNA of a person who died and makes a clone of them, so he can research the planet until he goes back to his to where they're gonna pick him up, and of course the governments are all chasing him, and not trying to, do experiments and stuff. So I can see why they don't want to go to Washington D.C. and say, "Hello, Mr. Trump." They'll be shot down first. Ask questions later.
Jeff Bridges. Jeff
Bridges, yes.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, I think Grandpa is an alien. I'm looking at him right now.
I could be. I don't know. They haven't told me.
He's a reptilian. He's got a beard covering his reptilian face. I think this is a conspiracy.
Well, I got my Grateful Dead shirt on, my Pink Floyd hat. Yeah.
You got a Grateful Dead shirt on, but you don't do drugs. I don't know if that matches.
Well, maybe we got a long time ago, but the consequences are too great nowadays.
Let's say aliens know he's peaceful. Eric, right now you got a halo over your head. You don't even know it. You just got a halo over your head in your black. Yeah, you make sure it's peaceful at the moment.
That's because I'm the chosen one.
All right.
That's perfect. Well, thank you for coming on, man. That's great that you're on, dude. We were hoping
I was trying to get on like everything else, and I thought I was all set up to go, and I pushed the button, boink, wasn't going nowhere. I went and got another computer, and it just wasn't going to work, and finally got around and get this one. So
good.
Yeah. I saw your gray square, and it wouldn't let me put you in because it's like kept saying your mic is messed up. Yeah, we wanted you on because I like to hear stories from regular people. Regular, down to earth, that you never get an opportunity to tell stories anywhere else.
Yeah.
What's been the most craziest story you ever heard that has been told to you that was kind of interesting?
I'm sure it probably involved aliens, but I was young enough and I wasn't supposed to be around to hear anything. The mid-70s, I'm going to say 73, 74, possibly 75. I even tried looking it up on the internet, and it's like one of your Mandela effects. I'm remembering things, but I can't find it anywhere. The Midwest had cattle mutilations back then.
Yeah.
My uncle, I believe, or when I called my uncle, he had a Black Angus cow, and it was killed, and they had people come out and look at it. And I was in the other room, not supposed to be able to hear, but they said that, it was like it had organs surgically removed and so forth. And, and I wasn't paying attention too much, but I overheard that. And of course, they wouldn't let me go out and look at it or nothing because they wheeled it away. But I thought, yeah, I did remember after a while back, after my mom passed away, I'd found some stuff in my old room, and where there had been different cattle mutilations that had been said and told about, but most people didn't talk about it,
Right.
I mean, because back then, yeah.
That is kind of interesting, right, guys? Because we've been talking about contact, and it's been nice and beautiful in some ways, not a little bit scary. But animals, when you hear about animals, they get the worst of it. The stories I've heard, they get cut up. Why? I wonder why is that?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question. I wish I had a good answer.
Yeah. But cattle's in the Bible now, so it's a Mandela effect. I'm not changing the subject, but it's ironic that I'm putting two pieces together. They're not supposed to be together, but
this is why we're doing this, trying to put things together.
Yeah, but in the Bible there is cattle now, and there was not cattle in the Bible. There was no cattle. There was no cattle. There's beasts or whatever, but ambiguous names. But there was no word cattle. So I just saying does it to do with the cattle mutilations? No, I don't know, but it's in the Bible now. So that word is. When I hear it now, and I look at all the conspiracies, it's kind of like you can put it in a big pile now. So you're like cattle mutilations. Cattle's in the Bible. This is now here, and this is connected to this. Now this is connected to this. And I'm not saying it is. It's just now you can put it all on one table. Or you couldn't put cattle and the Bible together. They have nothing to do together, nothing at all. But now you can say cattle and cattle. they're both intertwined in a weird way. I'm just saying in a Mandela effect kind of way. I've never heard of cattle in the Bible, and there it is now. I know we have cattle mutilations. I think Mike has the most information I've heard on about the certain parts that they take off or they've cut, whatever. You were talking about that, Mike, weren't you? Like they're taking off soft tissue, right?
Yeah. I just remember a few things like very tongue, anus. I think the eyeball, blood was also like drained there, and then they do leave the carcass, like they leave it surgically removed from my. This is what I read. I have never met anyone who have all material that I've read, and I also the aliens like bathe in some goo that they have extracted, and they get nutrients through like osmosis their skin, and that's how they and it gives them this kind of high as well. The thing is like these animals that's been mutilated, almost touch it. Like you can leave it out, and like coyotes won't get at it. Nothing will go get it. Will go after it. So this is what I know.
I've heard that too.
Allegedly,
they smell it. Other animals smell it, and it's like basically telling them to get away from it.
Maybe they use it for that fluid, the amniotic fluid. Like if they're mass producing themselves, and we don't have a womb for them, maybe they use, like Mike says, maybe they use the living cells and they make the amniotic fluid out of it. They make it out of the blood. Yeah, it's like a big. They could probably bathe in it too, but probably all kinds of wonderful things. They're living. They have the stem cells. They can make anything they want from the blood. They can probably make the amniotic fluid to make themselves.
But
I'm just guessing.
My question. But here's my question. No, but I just have a quick question though. So like these quote unquote aliens are flying millions and millions of miles across the galaxy from Zeta Reticuli or Andromeda or Pleiadians or wherever the fuck they're coming from. I'm sorry, but my other question is, and they come here all the way, and we started hearing about it, and people are getting abducted, and some people are okay with that. But why all the secrecy? Why all this underhandedness of it? Why all veil of like? Why don't they? If they're intelligent beings, then why can't they reveal themselves? Like, why does everything all have to happen in the dark? Like, while everybody's sleeping, and you have to paralyze people and then put shit in them and then, and probe them and stuff. That's my question.
One person in the chat wrote, what I've heard, there are orbs that burn through the cow and swirl at impossible angles, as if something in another dimension, and then rips out the jugular, and the course of the blood is drained.
Oh, man,
that sounds horrific. But why do they need it? And why do these aliens need it? Why are they doing this? This is like such a horrific way to dispose of
animals,
an animal.
Yeah.
No, I've seen humans. I've heard of humans in Brazil. There was a case of one guy, same exact kind of shit happened to him, where his tongue was surgically removed, everything, all the same thing. Yeah, in Brazil.
Okay. Picture. Ew. Get out of his crotch area was cut out. It was all cut up.
Yep. Yeah. You remember this, right, Robert? You heard of this before, right?
I was like, is this real, man? Because this is bad. They really mutilate like a cow. So I always
It was
South America. That was weird. A lot of abductions out of South America. I heard of a lot of abductions out of South America. That's really. I'm trying to always put together why South America. Well,
maybe the climate there is
the
more.
Nazis are. The Nazis are in South America.
Nazis are in South America. Also, they have 99.9% the same blood type. They're all O positives. So 99.9. I'm just throwing ideas out, guys. It doesn't mean it's right. I'm trying to figure out why them and not say Europe. Well, Europe's mixed between A, B, and O. Well, one solid thing that separates them from Europe is that they're all O's. All O's. So they're picking the O's. They're picking the O's.
Now,
I don't know why.
One person says here they think aliens do not come from outer space. They come from the other side of Antarctica.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
I can't disapprove it.
Or interdimensional.
Interdimensional.
I mean, the thing is,
yeah,
you cannot talk about aliens as one thing.
No, you can't.
There are many kinds of aliens and different kind of abduction type of experiences. That's all I just wanted to put out there. I'm sorry to interject.
Yeah.
No, there's one person wrote, the Greys are masters at deception, and when they visit females, they generally get the abductee to think that they are good guys as they project human like blue figures and blame it on space.
Oh, shit. That's pretty serious stuff.
Yeah.
So, Grandpa, you tell us, what aliens do you believe in? Which ones? I mean, everyone has an idea. We have the Greys. I always bring up there's the Palladians. I always hear about. What do you think? What's your cup of tea for aliens?
Yeah, I like the little Greys, I guess, if I gotta go with any of them.
Okay.
I mean, up watching what is that? Shit, I can't even think of the name of the show. Had all the X-Files, yeah. Watched the X-Files for a while. It seemed to be pretty cool, but you know how that goes. But
always the little Greys.
Grandpa, you don't have to answer this question if you don't want to. Do you feel you're Mandela affected in a way? Do you know what the Mandela effect world is?
To some degree, isn't it believing you know something and then you go to look at it and it doesn't exist now?
Yes.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the majority of the people here, because a lot of people came from the Christian community. We had a lot of Christian community people that since the time when they were babies, it's always been the lion laid with the lamb in their Bible. They read it every Sunday. They might not give a shit about any other Mandela effect, and I don't blame them, but they have 1 acre memory and you can't take it away. Yeah. And they go to a 1700s book, they open it up, and there's a freaking wolf. You go to 1800s, there's a wolf. You go to maybe as far back as you got to find it, maybe 1500s, there's a wolf. So,
yeah,
where did the lion go? So, a lot of people with the effect, they don't go researching past that. They're like, I'm done. I remember there's a North Pole where Superman lived, and there was a lion that laid with a lamb. And then the Bible is continuously changing right in front of their eyes. So, a lot of people you don't need to go out and look for candy wrappers, man. If the Bible's all you have, that's all you need.
Well, I was just asking because people usually with the Mandela effect are more open to, what's going on out there, are more open to what's happening, are more open to listen. So that's why I was just curious, Well,
I'm pretty well open to listen to anything. I usually try to think outside the box anyway, and people really don't like me to tell them the truth because, as the old saying goes, it's easier for people to believe a lie than it is for them to believe they've been lied to.
Yeah.
So just let the sheep lay. On the you was talking about the Bible a few minutes ago. The Ezekiel, he saw the wheel, and they drawed pictures of that to supposedly make it look like a UFO. But
wait, he saw a wheel? He saw a wheel. It's like a spoke wheel?
I can't remember exactly. It's the first part of Ezekiel.
I write that up.
But supposedly he saw the face of God, and he described it all out. And somebody had brought a picture a while back, and it didn't. Well, it might have been the face of God, but it's kind of scary looking. So.
Well, I saw a wheel. That's why I was coming back. I'm not joking, people. Maybe I was crazy. We were coming back from the mall. I'm over in England. So I'm an American, but I'm living in England right now. Coming out of this biggest mall in all of England, and we're driving, and the driver's like, and I'm staring off in the distance, and it looked like this big silver ring, like a half a ring, like it wanted to be a full circle because it was in the distance, and it looked like a spoke, like a mirror, like the big old Farago or whatever round that. Whatever, Ferris wheel, huge though, like on the horizon. I caught it in my eyes, And I went to turn to the driver. Look, and we both turned around. It's gone. I'm like, Carl, I'm not crazy. I saw that wheel, man. I'm gonna look up Ezekiel now. See how they describe it. Just suggesting. Keep going, guys.
Now, a lot of your videos, your 2-minute videos, you talk a lot about the alien information in the state of Missouri. Is Missouri like a hot spot in a lot of ways?
Well, so far, I'm not all the way done with it yet. They've got several different sightings and so forth, and we're just trying to put it out there for people to be entertained with one way or the other. So,
What was the I'm trying to remember, I think it was part 1 of the video you did. What was the earliest first story sighting in Missouri?
you know, I've got so much going on in my life. I mean, I work 40 hours a week. I take care of my disabled wife. Right now, I'm raising my grandchildren because my daughter works in the medical field. And I've been doing YouTube a little bit here and there. And, you know, when I do it, it kind of like goes out the window.
We do it for fun. You do it for fun.
I mean, it's.
So you said your daughter's in the medical field. Does she have an opinion of what's going on with the evil word virus that's out there?
Here we go.
She does. She ain't telling me nothing.
How's that working out with the coronavirus? What do you think? We'll get it out of the way. Don't worry. You can have whatever opinion you want, man. We all have our own opinions. Me and Eric said that we say that they're doing it to make babies. We figured 9 months are going to have a lot of babies made because everyone's stuck together in the house. That's our theory. Nobody else shares it. Everyone's got their own theory. But do you have a theory? What do you think, man? What's going on with that?
Well, I seen an article back last year around October. I can't say exactly when. Maybe it was November. Where Bill Gates and all Bloomberg and all of his big buddies, they was doing Event 201. Have you heard that about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And they done that pandemic scenario, and it just happened to be on the coronavirus. And I thought, wow. And then China starts getting it, and then we start getting it. And I told a few of my friends, I said, it's awfully convenient, ain't it? We don't know because people laugh at me anyway for conspiracy theories. So
no, we don't see. I don't see anybody. I'm just saying from where I'm. There's nobody in the hospitals here, dude. I can't find nobody. There's nobody in the damn hospital. I go by there. There's nobody there. Just like one of them here, Manchester is saying it's packed. Stay away from it. If you have it, go to this place. They're going to be a line by the door. Park your car here. They have this whole area, and I'm walking distance, man. And I go up the road, and I'm like, there's nobody here. It's like I just watched the news. There's nobody here. There's nobody there.
Well, I don't want to say anything bad about our hospital.
Don't.
If you get here, you want to go somewhere else.
Yeah, don't. If you got family in the business, don't give away from it. You get yourself somebody in trouble.
What the hell is that? You got a medal holding your cigarette?
I'm a disabled veteran. You know that. You know I'm a disabled veteran. Wait, these are prosthetics.
Oh.
You know I'm a disabled vet, dude. Why would you question?
Did the aliens abduct you and took one of your hands?
Well, yeah, it's a mechanical hand. It works fantastic. I smoke a cigarette.
Oh, is that why you sent me this?
Oh,
yeah. Wow. I thought you had a mechanical. Didn't you have a mechanical brain? They gave you a mechanical brain, didn't they?
Mechanical brain. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I'm just smoking a cigarette. You guys are weird, man. You guys are saying weird things. I will tell you. I'll tell you about that, Eric. It's embarrassing for yourself. You just embarrass yourself.
So you're saying for fun, you just do some YouTube videos just for fun here and there, and you talk. Is there going to be another video coming from you soon? A part 6?
Oh, probably so. We're trying to get 1 or 2 a week. we have another channel, Grandpa's Underworld, which I try to do stuff that, like Tales of History is going on right now, but trying to keep up with one's getting to be much anymore.
Well, do the
Yeah,
best you can,
It
man.
is more work than some people think. Try to do a show every day. 1 week I try to do one every single day, and then I said this week, no, I want to rest on Monday, Wednesday. Sometimes you just need that rest because it does take a lot of work to put something together. Trying to find people to come on, it's not easy.
Yeah. I thought a long time ago I wanted to be a comedian, so I thought, well, I could put on a few YouTube videos of me trying to be funny, and it's really hard to be funny when there's nobody laughing at you.
Yeah.
Tell us a joke. Tell us a joke.
Oh, non-political, right? What kind of here? Crap. Now,
No pressure.
No pressure.
A feminist joke?
Yeah.
Good. I like it. I'm an anti-feminist. I'm a masculinist.
Okay. I'm trying to keep it halfway clean, so.
No, you don't have to. It doesn't have to be clean on this channel.
Okay. All right. What's the difference between KFC and a woman?
Oh shit.
A KFC and a woman. I don't know.
Okay. After you get done with the thighs and the breasts, all you got is a greasy box to throw your bone in.
Anyway. I like it.
It's just people nobody takes respect to that. We're simply having fun. We're a multilingual, racial group, and every sidebar. We all make fun of each other equally.
Well,
and just.
Well, the bad thing about having a last name
You're a
of White,
grandpa everybody should have.
well, I always tell my kids at work, they come in, they say, "Who are you?" I say, "I'm Grandpa." I said, "I'm 180 years old. I get to retire next year." Don't even question me.
Okay, wait a minute. Since you're a grandpa, you're obviously a very old man. We know that. You need to clear up a question that everybody has, that everybody wants to know the answer to. I bet you have the answer.
Maybe so. Try her.
Okay, here we go. This is the biggest myth on the planet, and you're going to answer this question. When you were a kid, did you in fact walk 5 miles in the snow to school?
Uphill both ways.
God damn it! Is there one old person who cannot walk 5 miles of fucking school in the snow?
Yeah, nowadays they close the school, sit on the ground. Yeah.
You got stories, right? I bet you got stories about walking to fucking school in the snow.
Probably so, if I can remember.
I was abducted walking to school one time. I doesn't know it.
They always have the same story. Every person of a certain age, I walk 5 miles back and forth in the snow. I'm like, have you, every one of you? What do you guys all come from the fucking Ice Age? What did we?
No, our father used to say in Idaho we had potato sacks we put on our feet and we had to walk in the snow to go to school.
Talking to my dad, he'd say that. Idaho, we had to wrap our feet up in potato sacks to walk in the snow. What?
Yeah.
What?
Only in the winter time, luckily.
It's like, did nobody have a bus? Did you guys not have a vehicle with we?
Well, the only person right now is walking the snow I could believe is Mike because he's in the other he's backpacking.
He's literally walking in the snow.
No, there's no snow here at the moment. It's all gone. But it is fucking cold at night though. Like daytime and nighttime.
You still gotta walk
big difference.
Get food, right? When it did snow, you still had
to get
food, right? See?
Yeah. During during wintertime, I was here last year. I was here from like January to March or April. I spent the whole winter here. It's pretty brutal, but it was a good experience. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, see, Grandpa. So you got a guy in the right corner. He's in Manchester, UK.
Manchester.
Mike's in another country, India. And of course, I'm in the Seattle area, so we're hitting all corners of the world here.
Yeah, from all over the place. Yeah, Yeah, I'm gonna be abducted here tonight. I think. I'm thinking tonight I'll be abducted. There's a couple of bonds that abduct me sometimes. I'm hoping they'll come back. They're the Palladians. Yeah,
I really like the Men in Black series. You know, I always wanted one of those little flashy pins.
you will not remember this. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I remember everything. It's a beautiful sight.
Do you believe that technically maybe the Men in Black is a real underground government society?
Hey, anything's possible anymore, man. You never know. I mean, things that I thought I knew, I don't know anymore. So,
Yeah, dude, believe me, I worked at the Aerospace Museum. Now, listen to this, Grandpa. I was working at the aerospace. I went to college. I worked aviation, all that fun stuff. I wanted to be an astronaut. Everything I ever wanted to do was in space. It's all I ever thought about. And then I come to the conclusion when I woke up at a certain time with this Mandela stuff. I did all the research. I'm not thinking. You don't have to share this with. You don't have to share this, but I don't think there's space anymore. I actually think that the Bible might be correct. There's a goddamn firmament up there, and everything we see in space-wise is technically interdimensional. I think there's water. I actually think there's. I now converted over to it. I'm like, I can't. I look at the math. I did all the studies. I'm like, my God, these fuckers have it right almost. And there's a lot of fight on both sides, but to me right now that the Bible, because of this whole thing is happening all over the globe and weird shit's happening, I'm not a Christian, but I'm starting to think the things that people wrote were godly inspired. So they wrote things that God wanted them to write. Believe it or not, in the Bible, whatever religion it is, there are truths in there. And I'm like, that firmament fucking thing is slapping me in the face. And I'm starting to think,
well,
the firmament, man.
Firmament is an atmosphere of representation.
Yeah, there's a firmament now. I see all the stuff from work. I look at all the evidence. I worked with all the space equipment and stuff. My God, you actually have never been to space. This thing is made because I did exhibits. We made things look like they were from space. To think that I was giving into the lie, I'm like, this is not real. There is no space. We are lying to each other. This is fucked up. So even the NASA guys are flat earthers, but they don't say anything. Shh. This is what I got, Grandpa. I asked one of the NASA guys, retired NASA guy. He's at my workplace. We even had Buzz Aldrin in there. Hey, Buzz, is there really space? Shh. Cross their fingers. Shh. Oh, does that mean no? Does that mean fuck you? Does that mean no? So my whole life is fucked now. Shh. This is what you get from them. Shh. So all these NASA guys are technically flat earthers. They're fixed earthers. They're firmament people the whole time. Like, what the hell? Damn. They keep it going, but just for money wise. But we got to keep the money machine going.
By
so you got to keep NASA going. Yeah.
So by implication,
so I'm free now.
What are right? By implication, if the aliens are not coming across the space, like from another light years away, then there is no space and a flat Earth, and then there is a waters above and waters below, and all these. What are these things, and why are they here? Like what's going on? What is that? What's the next level?
Yeah, I'm with you. I've been playing with that. I have the cool thing is we get to play with that now. So there is no end of the earth. It keeps going in the vastness. There's more lands to the west. There's more like a Viking idea. There's more lands to the north. It goes past the ice, and there's more tropical lands beyond that. We just don't. It's just coming. One of the ideas is coming at distances far, far away, and there's nothing up, but it's to the sides. As far as you can think, it's out there. If God made it in a vastness like that, God knows what the fuck is way down the line. Or again, we talk about the interdimensional, where they're cracking time and space, where you're just folding dimensions and popping right through it, which what the aliens are probably are, just coming through dimensions from the future, from the past. There's no
I hope we're not scaring Grandpa away. Like, what the? What kind of show am I on?
He's loving it. He's loving it. He's having a good time. Yeah, we're going through dimensions, so they could be us that we died out. The human species died out, and all we had left was our cells. Some machines, only thing left. They've reproduced stem cells to make a human, which they came out as an underdeveloped little fucking gray thing, which has got no female or male organs because there's not enough hormones to even give it a freaking sex, so it can't reproduce. So now you got these little walking around humanoids that are connected to fucking motherboard that are not human quite yet. They come over here and they harvest us to make themselves a little bit human, like Eileen was talking about, hybrid breeding to get themselves back to human form. Could be nothing in the future left. I mean, we died out, so now we're just being remade, and then our bodies are some of us are being harvested all the time, probably from people from the future. So I mean, imagine we'll go to the future, we're going to see ourselves. Hey, you look like me.
Well, but Robert, I think it's kind of it's difficult to go all over the place because there's a lot of speculation, about like this and that or whatever. But it's good to kind of stick to an idea of whether or not, okay, is there a positive or a negative aspect of this experience? Is it a benevolent thing? Is it a malevolent thing? Is it to benefit humanity? I think those are some of the things that people could be curious about. Like, like in our just a normal Joe guy perspective of aliens, he's thinking about like grays, and he's coming from another planet, and then they're curious about humans, and maybe they're doing some experiments with them, and that's what most people would think, right?
Yeah.
But if there's something else going on, we have to be able to explain that and why that something else is going on and for what reason. What's the motive? That's always the question. When you murder somebody or somebody gets murdered, what's the motive, right?
What's the motive? Correct. I'm with you. I'm figuring it out too. Because I just got off the round earth boat. Now I'm on the fucking flat earth boat, and I'm trying to figure out what now. And how do I marry what I used to know to what I know now with the new idea? So I'm taking new ideas and I'm massaging them with old ideas that I've had that was on an old round earth model. So I'm taking the old round earth model ideas and having to tweak them to fit the flat earth model, the geocentric model. So with firmament. So I'm just now
let me ask,
playing with it.
But let me ask then, it's just a quick question. Okay, so you are no longer a globe earther, you're a flat earther.
No,
right?
Nope.
You're not a flat earther?
No, I'm not a flat earther. Hell no. I am not from here. I'm not from here. I had a yellow sun. And my North Star was Venus, and it was right where I used to be. It's in the military. I knew exactly where it was because I used to fucking drive boats. What I have here is not home.
Wait.
That is not home. That I don't know if we were in a container.
No.
I don't know if we've been, the entire round earth has been encapsulated into a round ball, that something is in there. I don't know if it went flat. I don't know what the math is. Even pi to me is different. The math is different here. Everything is.
Yeah.
So everything's on the table now. Did God just show up and put a firmament down?
You're not just claiming the earth is round or flat. You're just saying that you're just trying to understand all the information is being given.
Yeah.
What happened. How
it's fixed. The math here, it's fixed. Everything matches to being fixed. So they're correct. The math here, back home, the math was different. So I don't know. I'm adjusting myself to where I'm at. So basically, the marine concept. You take what you have and you run with it. What you have here, you adapt, you overcome. So I'm adapting to what I see here. I'm adapting, overcoming here. I can't think about Sagittarius Arm anymore, where this place is calling itself Orion Spur. So I got to think in the form of Orion Spur. So when I look at the math as an Orion Spur person, I'm seeing flat. The evidence is overwhelming. It's flat as an Orion Spur person. So when these guys scream, it's flat, I'm like, yeah, I know. Don't scream so loud. I'm with you on that. According to what I'm reading in this place where I'm at right now, I woke up and you're correct. But back home, I'd have to argue it over there, but I'm not home anymore. So I'm going to have to readjust to what I'm seeing with my own eyes. I'm not from here. I always make sure people know I am not from this place. No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like nobody is arguing. It's like that's a matter of
Yeah.
perspective, and that's your own personal perspective
Yeah.
of things. Nobody can
Journey.
deny that because you're claiming that's your experience. That's not
Yes.
what I'm asking. Like, but do you believe in this like a Sagittarius spur / Orion's I don't know, nub or whatever? Like, do you think those places
Don't
exist?
know now. I don't know. Those aren't stars. I've got a telescope. So I'm not looking, I can't even base the decision off stars because with my telescope, I'm not seeing any stars. Now, back home, I saw what I thought, again, I thought to be stars. Did not look like plasma balls. These are plasma balls. Completely, I don't give in to what people screaming. I saw things back home and it looked like a distant star. It looked like it could be theoretically round, is what they said back home. Over here, I'm not seeing anything. I'm seeing a flat electrical plasma thing that changes colors. Now I'm looking at these like so-called stars and they're flat plasma balls or plasma, and they don't even look round. They're round in perspective to like this, but they don't look round. They look like plasma balls. And they're even turning red in some of them, have little sparkles to them. They're dimming in and out as plasma. So I'm not seeing stars. I don't know what that is. So I have to like put it down as like people might have it all wrong. We don't know what that is. We could be encapsulated into something we don't know about. It's on the table. We could still be home and within a dome that's changing matter. We could have something deliberately changing matter, like they call it the hologram deck. We could have all been put into a hologram deck. And now you wake up in the morning, you're like, the keys were here, but now they're there. The green light used to be at the top, now it's at the bottom. So everything could be manipulated all the time, like the men in black are moving shit around just to fuck with people. I seen a building appear that was never there. I seen signs appear that were never there. I seen areas change that were never there.
Let's ask Grandpa. Now you're hearing all this. You have an opinion of what you're hearing? You don't have to answer that.
Grandpa, we're friends. Mike and I are buddies. Yeah, we're all buddies. We like to argue that we like to. He plays. I have to be objective. He'll play the other part, and that's how we all learn from things.
Yeah, I'm getting. Yeah, I can't. Boy,
it's heavy, isn't it?
Heavy, really. Wow.
Yeah, it's something you get to think about. Again, nobody's right, nobody's wrong, but we all know what we see. You know, at the end of the day, I'm flat earther, but in argumentative form, I gotta question everything all the time and redo it over and over again and challenge it. And someone has to take the objective to it too and twist it to the other way so we can get somewhat of an answer.
Well,
So
we always say you should question everything. You should question everything,
all the time.
study everything, learn everything. And nobody should ever make fun of somebody else for their opinion. Nobody should ever make fun of somebody else. Your opinion,
unless it's you, Eric. I try to make fun of you, Eric, but everybody else is okay.
That's fine. I'm the guy who said you shouldn't.
I'm just kidding.
I was saying Eric probably has nipple rings. We're talking about taking his shirts off, and I said, "You don't want to see me with my shirt off.
No,
you gotta let me lose 20 pounds first." Which
right.
I'm on a diet. I'm not lying.
Me too.
Well, you know, we all have our own perspective of things, and we're just here to share our perspective. And nobody's right or wrong, and nobody's here to put anybody down. And nobody's reality is like more real or more like plausible than another person's reality. We could just come from different realities, and that's fine. But it's fun to kind of talk about like the implications of these realities. Whatever reality that you're coming from, like you create a model based on all the information that you share. You create a model, and then this model, you have to say, okay, aliens are here, these pieces, you got reptilians here, you got the politicians here, they live characters are here. So you got all these like little like pieces, and you're building your like, you know, model of the universe that you're living in, and they all have some kind of programming, and they're kind of set off to do something, and you wonder like what is their like end end mission? You know, where are they going? You know, what are these guys doing? And so it's just kind of fun to kind of go down that rabbit hole a little bit to, understand like, hey, what is the implication of it all? And I just feel like you just need a context environment to be able to talk about that freely. Otherwise, everybody looks crazy, because I know Robert's crazy. I know Eric's crazy, and I know myself is crazy. So I don't know what to do, right?
Well, you know what, guys, we are gonna wind this down. I do gotta get somewhere soon, but my question is, Grandpa, I know we had some computer technical difficulties where you couldn't come on, and I saw you tried, and I couldn't get you on, and so I didn't really give you your fair 2 hours chance to really, join us. But would you join us sometime in the future to so we can actually, get down the dirty and talk some more? Are you open in the future to come back?
Yeah, we can talk about anything you want, basically, and I'll send you an email of when I can get time off. But
yeah, send me an email, and we'll make it work. Bob's coming back to America in a few weeks or so. So, if it takes a night show that you're free, then we could actually do one at night, because Bob will be here. Only reason we do that this time because it's nighttime for Bob, and it's nighttime for Mike. Where Mike's tired, to go to bed.
Yep.
And Bob will be going to bed soon. So we'll pick the time that's best for everybody. So we are going to wind this down. Anything you want to say, Grandpa, before we go? Last word?
Well, I always tell people I meet, I said, when you get to be my age, there's one thing you got to remember: you never want to trust a fart.
Correct.
Honest truth. Nice meeting y'all, and hope to see y'all again soon.
All right,
yeah,
everybody in chat, I want to
thank Mike. Guy.
Yeah, he is. That's why I wanted him on, and I want to thank Mike for jumping on. That was very cool, because I had fun today, guys. Sometimes talking about the virus, it gets a little too much sometimes, and just talking like aliens and stuff is very, very fun. It's very different and fun, and I like doing this. Tomorrow, Bob and I are doing a show. It's going to be more towards the paranormal. Might have a guest. It hasn't confirmed that yet with the guy, but guess or not, if we don't, you guys all jump on like today. Anybody who's
watching, you better come on. Tomicon, you're watching. You better come on. I'm shouting out to one of our people out there. His name is Tomicon. He's got great stuff. He's hard to pin down. He's so busy all the time. He's like Grandpa. We're trying to get him on. So I'm calling him out so he can get on the show.
Yeah. Tomorrow. So if we don't have a guest tomorrow, if anybody wants to jump on tomorrow like today, go for it. Yeah. So I want to say goodbye to everybody, and this was fun today. I enjoyed it, and that's it. See you guys later.
Take care.
Later. Bye.